think we're live now. Yes? No? Maybe? Yeah, we're done. How we doing, buddy?
All right, I guess.
All right, I guess. That's what I always say. All right, I guess. We are we are live, running a little bit hour late. We are live with the weekly Alaboom, the longest running weekly live streaming show on YouTube. We used to do this on Google Hangouts. Remember we did it on Google Hangouts or Hangouts on Air? I think is what they called them back in the day.
Yeah,
And then they got rid of that. But
the
anyway,
simple days.
it is June 23rd, the year of our Lord 2021. I have Barry with me. Looks like Peter Vaughn wants to join us later. Scott Alden just texted me or messaged me like 10 minutes ago. So, yeah, we're doing the thing. I went and got Chick-fil-A today for my family. I'm not a huge fan, though I do like their waffle fries. Waffle. Have you ever seen that meme where people say you have to get rid of one or something like that, and it's like you have to get rid of um boom boom Ella boom. Yeah, okay, I got it. I do my little typing to everybody. Like you have to get rid of one, right? And it's like steak fries, crinkle fries, waffle fries, and curly fries. Like you have to get rid of one, and it's so easy for me because curly fries out the door. See you later. I like waffle fries. I like steak fries, and I like crinkle fries. And if I have to, I've said this before, but like Burger King used to have crinkle fries like 4 or 5 years ago, but they called them Satis fries, and I always felt stupid ordering them. So I'd always call I when I get in the drive-through, I'd say I'd like the crinkle fries, and they'd say what? The crinkle fries, the new fries. They're like the saddest fries. I was like, yeah, I'm not saying the term. Then it's like, but if I wanted to be not annoying, I would have to say, yeah, a large order of saddest fries, please. Just a horrible name.
Don't confuse the teenagers at the drive-thru lanes.
I know, I know, but I've always liked steak fries. I've always enjoyed the steak fry. I think it's because it's
Yeah,
like
that's my favorite.
I mean, what is it about the steak fry? It's just is it because it's got more to it?
I think it's that, and then you get the crunchy on the outside and the softer on the inside. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but curly fries, I've never liked them.
They're okay for me. Waffle fries are hit or miss. I like my fries crispy.
Yeah,
And you don't get that with the curly fries or the waffle fries at times. Yeah.
but not burnt though, right?
No, 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 just a little crispy. Um, yeah, and I like real fries. I don't like that, you know, mushed together potato and trimming shit fries.
Now I know there is a chain, and I think it's Red Robin or something like that, where they have unlimited steak fries. Like you can just keep getting, they'll keep giving you a bucket of fries if you order a sandwich or something. I forget what it is. What? There's some store, and I mean, now I gotta look it up. Unlimited steak fries.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Red Robin. Bottomless steak fries. You just when you purchase a burger, sandwich, or entree, you unlock a world of unlimited refills of your chosen side, including steak fries, Yukon chips, broccoli, and side salad. And for a slight upcharge, you can endlessly enjoy sweet potato fries, garlic herb fries, and zucchini fries. And I say, the garlic herb fries might not be bad. I don't know. I'd have to eat them. Give them a try. But yeah, just how about unending side salads? Yeah, I'd like another side salad,
Yeah.
please.
You got the keto people and all that.
Bring me another four sprigs of lettuce, one cherry tomato, lightly garnished with some ranch, please, and my two croutons. Um, I can remember there was a there was a restaurant. In if you lived in the Upper Midwest, you knew about these restaurants. They were either they were called Bonanzas and Ponderosas.
I've heard about.
Um, and but I remember like Bonanza was like the like uh my mom's parents would come to town. Like that was their special night out. Would we go to Bonanza, and you'd get, and the big thing was is that you'd order whatever it was, whether it was like a hamburger or like a steak, or it was just an American restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And but they had the like unending soup and salad bar. That was the big draw, right? You're going to the steak restaurant and you're paying, at that time, I don't know, probably $8.99 for your sirloin steak or whatever with the baked potato, which was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, yeah.
And um uh oh, Kevin's here. Kevin, I know I saw you're not going to BGG Con this year. Kevin, if you want to come on the show to talk, I would love to get your viewpoint on conventions and whether or not you'll be attending and why you're not attending. I'd love to pick your brain. Kevin, you know how to reach out to me on Facebook. Please do so. I'll give you the link to join in. That's if you want to join. And I'm waiting for Scott to show up so we can talk BGG Con because I know it went live today.
Damn Aldi.
What?
That damn Aldi.
Yeah. But and then we'll talk about BGG Con as soon as he shows up. I just got our application approved for our booth, and yeah, I'm like, I guess that's another thing I'm gonna start doing for at least in some ways. The wearer of many hats at Barry Fox. Now I'm going to get a set up for BGG Con this year. So I'm definitely going to BGG Con. And I'm bringing my daughter. So if you're going, you can play games with me and my daughter if you go with, because she's gonna be old enough to be there.
I doubt.
Anyway, Bonanza. I was talking about Bonanza.
Bonanza.
So I don't know if you ever did this. Did you eat a lot of salad when you were a kid, Barry?
Yeah, I didn't eat out much as a kid. Like once in a while we go to this place called Cavanaugh's, it was sort of like a Ponderosa, but I don't think it was a chain. But that was like a real special occasion. We go to his corner pizza joint called Pete's once in a while. Like once a week we order pizza. But other than that, we really didn't go out much. So we had salad with dinner every night, basically. But it was at home. I really didn't start eating out until I was probably in my late teens. Like McDonald's, I had that for the first time when I was like 11 or 12. And I'm really not a big fan of McDonald's and all that. Yeah. I actually got a grievance about that.
All right, lay it on me.
So, was it last week or the week before? Me and Jen I had to go out, and Jen was hungry. So she said, "Well, there's a McDonald's on the way home." I said, "Fine." So we pull into the parking lot of this McDonald's, and she stops the car and parks, and then pulls out her phone and orders the meal on her app. And I can see the fucking McDonald's drive-through from where we're sitting. I was like, "Why didn't you just drive through the drive-through? We're here." And she's like, "This way, if they mess up, it's my fault. I know." I was like, "So we're going to spend 10 more minutes waiting on this when you could just pull up through the drive-through." Does your wife do stupid shit like this?
And this isn't only my special lady. This is people in general. I'm gonna say, there's some people. Okay, so I'll precurse this with the personal story. I can remember, and mind you, this turned out to be my watering hole. This was the place that I would end up going to. Oh, and Kevin, I sent you the link via Facebook to join in. So this was the place that I would go later in life. This was my watering hole where I would go after work or on the weekends or whatever. But I remember a couple of my buddies said, "Hey, meet me out at this bar." It was called Chubb's Pub, and it's still called Chubb's Pub. It's still there. Sadly, the guy that was the manager and stuff recently passed away. It was just, I mean, he was only a little bit older than me. So, but anyway, we but I remember like being 21 or 22 and like feeling way more comfortable with going or walking into a bar uh, when if somebody there was with me. Just walking in by myself was intimidating to me, just for whatever reason. Like I was, just under the impression that like, oh, not whether they're gonna like, beat me up or something like that, but it was something that I feel more comfortable with. Hey, Kevin's here, or
I
he's
grew
in
up
the
in
process
bars.
of going in. So I think so. I know what that anxiety is. And hey, Kevin,
Hey there.
where
At
I'm,
least
I'm
I remembered to turn off YouTube this time.
excellent. So
That
I'm just
helps.
so to answer your question, my wife prefers like she doesn't like if she can do it. She doesn't like to be the person in charge of ordering at the drive-through just because there's an anxiety there. She doesn't enjoy calling the place up to order the pizzas. There's an anxiety there, but she loves online, right? Because and to be fair, online is pretty sweet, right? You pull out your phone, you say, and then you don't have to worry about the person misunderstanding you. You don't have to worry about them punching it in wrong or anything like that. I pull up my app and I type in, I want 2 quarter pounders, one of them with extra onions, one of them with no ketchup, and then I need, 2 large fries and 2 Oreo shakes. And I put that in and I get to review my order. I pay the money. I mean, like, there has I've reduced the number of steps that are involved of somebody screwing up that order, right? I mean, at this point, it's on that person. If they're making me my burgers and they're making me my stuff and they screw it up, well, that's on them, not me. So, I mean, and so I get it, right? I
I
get
can
the
see
whole
that.
process of and to be fair, man, I worked at pizza places for years and years. That was my go-to job for a decade when I was, when I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And I was trying to make ends meet, scrambling to come up with rent when I was paying $180 a month, living in some rat trap with 5 other guys. I just, I don't know how many times you get a call and like loud music in the background, the guy's trying to yell the order to you, you're trying to write it down. Before computers, before you type the stuff in, you actually wrote it out on a slip and put the order in. Those types of things. I mean, it was. So yeah, man. I mean, I get it though. I get it. You're gonna drive all the way there and then put the order in. Man, I
Yeah.
love putting the order in. I put the order in and I say, have it ready for me at this time, and then I make sure I get to the place at that time. Like, there's a place that my wife really enjoys getting coffee from, and so if I'm out and about, I will go there, but I mobile order it, right? I say, have this coffee made, and I don't have to worry about screwing up the order or anything like that. And it's ready. I just say, have it ready for me at 3:15. I walk in at 3:15. It's just sitting there ready for me, ready to go.
Yeah,
I like that.
Pete's Coffee is good for that.
Is Pete's Coffee a local establishment of yours?
They've got a number of locations in the San Francisco Bay Area, so
Well,
it's not that local.
San Francisco. I think I've told you this, but my sister and her husband will live in San Francisco. I'll have to. I'll ask them if they know you.
Yeah, because it's not like San Francisco is a huge city or anything.
They'll be like, Kevin, yeah, we know Kevin. No. So now Aldi, of course, is gone. So I can't.
He'll be
talk about
back. He said.
I know. But once he gets back, then we'll be. Then we can dive into the whole BGG con. And
Well, we
and
could
what's
talk to
going on.
Kevin while
No, here he is. Here's Scott. So Scott, I've got Gray Fox Games registered. You've approved my thing. I think we're gonna donate a bunch of games for the giveaway or
Sweet.
for the attendees. I told Shane that we can get some sponsorship things. I remember back in the day, TMG used to get like ad dollars for some of the stuff we donated too. I don't know how it works at all anymore, but we'll make it happen.
That's a deal with Chad. I think we talked to Chad about that.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I told I told Shane that we should donate some stuff, and he was just like, "I think I could even tax write off some of this stuff for all I know." He said,
100%.
Yeah, so he's like, "You bet." He's like, "I got crates of these games that don't sell." So yeah, we're gonna.
It's honestly like it's so weird. Like well, I don't know if how much detail I want to get into, but you pay tax on what you put in your building in Dallas. I have sadly found out.
Oh
Really? Like a
Ooh.
property tax?
Property tax, yeah.
So
My uncle says
Wow.
something like that in Virginia. I don't think it was inside. He didn't pay I guess county tax or whatever per se, but he paid on his car. He paid taxes on his car.
You
And,
pay on
and
business
certain
assets.
other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
almost
this was
better to
personal.
burn
This
that-
wasn't
burn
business.
things. It's better to destroy or give away things than it is to hold things.
Really?
yeah.
I mean, if you're
It's an inventory. It's an inventory tax essentially.
The term is called business property.
Really? So I remember. So the thing is that I remember. I think this is 2 years ago. Was that the Portal game, the Robinson Crusoe on Mars game? Like
Business
Yeah.
Business personal property is what it's called.
First Martian or something?
First Martians? That was that game, First Martians. I remember when I walked in like the day before and you were doing setup and everything like that, and I saw the pallets upon pallets upon
Good game.
pallets of First Martians.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with that game, but the hype pushed it way higher
It
up.
could never have possibly achieved. I mean, because Robinson Crusoe is something special, right?
Yeah.
Like, how could you have make that game?
No,
And honestly, here's what I think the game has. The rulebook had problems. Like, we were on that rulebook. We were playing it day one, and I wrote Igdasti, and I'm like, so we jumped straight to the legacy game. Did any of you guys even open that stuff?
no.
I feel like nobody opened that stuff. Like, I might be one in a million, right? It actually has.
I hope they didn't make 1 million copies.
There's actually some funny. There's some interesting cameos and voice acting on the recordings, because you listen to the recording and stuff happens, and there's a voice I distinctly recognize, and it's someone you know, but not probably who you think. But we were doing that, and he's like, "Why are you playing the legacy part? You should play the basic game." And I'm like, because here's the thing: once we play this game like once or twice, we're probably going to be done with it. Like, we don't play a lot of lengthy campaign games, so I want to just get into the campaign. And so I was writing him all these rules questions, and it was rough going.
Yeah.
But the game was fun. But here's the thing: the thing about Robinson Crusoe is you start with nothing and you build up. On the Mars game, you start with everything and it all breaks down. It's not fun fixing broken things. It's more fun building things that work.
But
as a game, like.
But where in your echelon is Robin Caruso?
Oh, it's top 10
on your.
I love
It's
it.
top 10.
Yeah.
Robin Caruso
Caruso.
is in your top 10.
David Caruso.
David
Yes. I would say, what is Robinson Caruso rated on BGG right now?
It's pretty high.
Is
it's a solid
it
game.
top 20?
No, I don't think it's that high. Let's see what Caruso is.
What is Robinson Caruso
Oh.
at?
Take a guess. What do you think it's in?
Well,
Top
I
100.
asked if it was top 20. Let's say top.
not
Let's
top
say
20.
it's not top 20.
Top 100.
Let's go 37. I'm gonna go 37 for Robinson Caruso.
60?
60. Yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
So
pretty annoyed. I'm saying
First Martian
Robinson.
is 2000.
We learned to ignore you with that, Lance.
I've been saying
We get it,
Robinson
Lance.
Caruso.
We get
There
it.
you go. Finally,
Kevin.
Kabuki Kid responded.
Kevin, could you ask Lance to say roof?
in the chat? She was making fun of us for saying, instead of saying Crusoe, we were saying Caruso. So
Do you say realtor or realtor?
Robinson, it's
Realtor.
Realtor.
Sure.
No, it's Realtor.
Some people
I just
say realtor.
Yeah.
Holy cow, Forrest Bowers
Oh, wow,
here.
for House of Representatives.
Forrest
What does that say?
Bauer.
Poverty?
I gotta take that. What does it say? Poverty first.
Somebody's speakers are on.
Poverty first.
Why is there a little hand in the O?
Bauer's gonna
That's
give
what
you a
the
hand.
graphic designer wanted to do. I don't know.
Bauer's gonna give you a hand. It's too
Why?
small, by the way. It needs to.
Yeah, it needs to be a
Scale up
bigger
a little
hand, and it should say, and and where's your sign that says "Run, Forest, Run"?
Oh my god! Oh, I have feedback because oh my
You're
god!
watching the video somewhere. How's it going, Kevin? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
That was okay.
Playing any games lately?
Most of it online, although I did have some face-to-face play a couple of weekends ago.
What'd you play?
Is Doug playing any?
Fuji Flush, Money,
Fuji Flush.
Stone Age,
Stone Age.
Ooh,
some
Stone
other
Age.
new game, some other new game that I
Cutting-
am blanking on at the moment.
Cutting the Cult of the New.
Yes.
Did you play Stone Age with style as the goal involved?
No,
Oh,
just standard.
Oh,
It was just
what
something
a
to.
terrible name that was.
I know. Isn't that a horrible name for it?
I mean, it's a German translation, right? So I'm sure it was funnier in German. They're always funnier in German.
A reason to learn German, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Martians got a bad. It was hugely hyped. This is one of the cases where the game was super overhyped, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to say things were overhyped, but
Oh no, he hyped
and
the
he
shit
and he
out of
tried
that.
to back it. He tried to back it down, but as soon as you say it's like Robinson Crusoe in space, then you're kind of setting yourself up for like you can only like
Yeah.
Are you talking about First
how
Martians?
can you beat a top 60 game?
Are you talking about First Martians from?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Martian.
Yeah, I tried with that one. I tried. I set it up. I watched the Rodney video, and I've never been steered wrong by Rodney. But I was like, nope, just nope. Just gonna go back.
But why do you think Rodney do you think Rodney recommends it when he does a playthrough? Like it's
No. I'm saying that his track record with me is so sparkling that even if this game broke it, I was
But
still.
but he's not endorsing a game by doing a tutorial. Is
Oh,
he?
I understand that.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying his track record is so sparkling that it was shocked me that I was still like, nope, just not even going to try it with this one. Because I looked through those rules.
Oh, he didn't even play it.
No, I got it set out. I watched part of the video. I went through the rules and I was like, nope, just nope.
Interesting. See, I wouldn't have jumped to that conclusion.
I
He
could
was playing
see.
solo too.
We Cole read the rules at the table. We were super excited to play that game.
Did you
Yeah,
ever
picked
play
up
it?
for like
Did you
10
ever replay On Mars
Okay.
after you had the bad experience with it?
No, because that was pre-COVID, and I was so
Uh.
mad that I spent 4 or 5 hours playing this game. Where the rules were so long that I forgot the rules by the time the game started.
Oh, that's
Did
the
the-
worst.
did
Lord.
Not the worst.
Did the sequel come out?
Welcome to my world,
the On
Scotty.
Mars sequel?
On Mars, Alien
No,
Invasion, a somewhat cooperative expansion, 2021. Does
That
not
might
look.
be interesting. Is it? Oh, it's somewhat cooperative.
Oh,
meaning not
Kickstarter.
cooperative?
Kickstarter postponed until July 15th.
That would be 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now.
Yes.
3 weeks.
That's one I need to try.
Yeah,
It
it was
is-
Yeah, I
weird.
didn't play
Like,
that one either.
the rules took so long to explain. By the time we started the game, I was like, "What do I do?" You know, it's like couldn't remember.
The
So,
mini-
like I said, and I mean, the abridged story to this is I remember walking in first day of Con of the North. I saw those
Guys,
four
reading the
guys.
rules.
Those four guys.
No, here's the thing.
Maybe
The
crack
rules
the-
all they
crack
all
the
make
shrink.
sense.
What?
The rules all make sense in the game. It's not like it's not ambiguous. There's nothing ambiguous in that
No.
rule set. It's just there's a shit ton of rules, and
Just they
and there's a weird thing where you're traveling back and forth from your base to the or from your what do you call it, the star base. I don't know if that's the word, but to the planet surface, and you can like really hork yourself in that game. Like if you go to the surface and you don't have resources, you're kind of like, I don't do anything this turn.
Yep.
Right? You're like, I can't do anything, which is not fun. And then you watch everybody do all this cool stuff, and you're like, well, I'm traveling back to the starbase to go get my stuff.
we've had that
And
discussion
then you
before.
wait, and then an hour goes by, and you like might get a turn.
There
Ouch.
are games where
That's poor
losing
play
a
by
turn is fine, but like in most Euros, the ability to not do anything, it's such a it's just
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, you play Talisman and you walk onto the spot and you lose a turn. I mean, you're like, okay, fine, it's Talisman, right? I mean, it's just like and the turns are so quick. It gets back to you soon enough, that you can get to go. you expect to be turned into a toad and fall into a pit and all kinds of horrible things when you play Talisman. But when like you're playing a game, and I should say also you're playing a game that doesn't have a ton of like take that negative stuff going on. Like, and you're like, oh, what do I get to do? Oh, you don't get to do anything. You get to wait while the rest of us have fun for another 10 minutes. It's like oh, this sucks. I recently playtested a game where it was like I went down a path that eventually got me victory points because it was basically like the game illuminated a thing where it's like, oh, if you go and do this, it'll take 3 turns to complete, but at the end you'll get this big reward. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I mean, we're playtesting, so I wanna dig into this, right? You know, and so I'll do this thing, right? And so it was like, what I didn't realize is that, yeah, okay, I got this big reward, but then after I kind of looked at what everybody else had done in those same 3 turns, well, they had not only gotten better rewards by taking like, you know, basically, you know, about I mean, they weren't getting as big of a reward as they got at the end, but over the course of those 3 turns, their reward was better. And plus, they actually got to do something for 3 turns instead of me just sitting there. Okay, it's my turn. Well, I'll sit here for a little longer. You know, it's my turn. Okay, I'll sit here for a little bit longer. And then it'd be one thing if I had like a big, huge, like, ta-da at the end. And then I turned it and they were like, we've never gotten that feedback before. I was like, how did you not? I mean, I was like, and I said, is that a new thing that you had? No, that's been in the game forever.
No one did it. No one was stupid enough to try it.
Nobody was dumb enough to go and take the action,
So
I guess.
The thing also about Robinson Crusoe is you get emergent gameplay.
Robinson Crusoe?
Caruso, you get emergent gameplay, which means like you don't sort of know what's coming, right? You're like, oh, I ate that piece of fruit.
Yeah.
And then 5 turns later, I got poisoned, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's the best part of the game. Also, I really do like the tech in that game. Like, you have to take turns out of like winning the game to make tech, and then you have to decide, is it really worth making this tech, or is it gonna, like, I can make a trap and I'll catch animals every night or whatever, and I'll get food, but I don't know if I need that much food, you know, that kind of stuff.
I agree. Robinson Crusoe is definitely got some legs, and it is a
that horse you keep beating doesn't.
I prefer David. It's so weird. Like, so there's a button that popped up on this Zoom that says you can release your video order here.
Yeah, I had something like that last week.
What am I ordering?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, you know what that means? I think it's the order of the videos like on the screen. Maybe that's right.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
It's just weird.
Was that? But did anybody else have anything else they want to say about Robinson Crusoe?
It's a fine game.
No?
I would say it's a great game, especially
Here's
if you get the second edition with the improved rule books.
I want to play.
I haven't played that.
I haven't played any of the expansion stuff.
I read the rule book.
so much of it.
I haven't had a chance to play either.
Yeah, I stick with Jenny. I'm almost always playing with someone new, so I always go to the Jennies. Even though they suggest doing the fire, like build a fire center, the signal fire one,
No.
or whatever. I think it's Shipwrecked is what the name of that one is.
What was the
Save Jenny is better as an intro scenario.
what was that other survival game that was very similar that came out around the same time period? I always wanted to play that, but I never got to it.
I just got rid of it.
Castaways?
Give me Castaways.
Is it any good? I always wanted to play it too, and I never got around to it.
It was okay.
I thought it would be way better.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be better than it was.
Well, no, and I remember it was like almost like weirdly.
It's cumbersome.
Does it have unlocked
but it was
content?
but I remember like they had limited copies at Gen Con when it came out, and there was all kinds of like hubbub about it. And it was just
I kind of need to go back and just get it out of my system.
And I remember I got it because I was super excited to play it, and the whole idea is that the reason why I was excited about it was you all had to work together to try to get off the island, but
Semi-cooperative.
But if you didn't work together to get off the island, nobody would survive. But there was a really good chance that depending upon how you get off the island, you'd end up leaving some people behind, kind of like in a way.
I ran into a problem where one particular player just sat on, what was it, story points or something they would get, where they would sit in the camp and do shit. That's all they did. And it kind of screwed the rest of us. Yeah. So that kind of turned me off of the game.
Well, like I say, if you want to play a game about castaways, you just got to play Lifeboats or Lifeboat.
Oh, where you vote somebody out each turn.
Oh no, Lifeboat, the card game where it's all about like you get a person that you love and a person that you hate at the very beginning of the game, and you could be either of those things. You could get both of them actually, and then you're like a sociopath, and like because you
like they're the same target.
Yeah. So the thing is that, and basically more or less likely what somebody else playing the game is somebody. It's a great game from Guerrilla Games. Jeff Sayadek designed it.
I remember it.
And if you love, you had to protect the person that you loved, and you had to kill the person that you hated, and you had to figure out how to do the how to be in the lifeboat and how to survive on the lifeboat. It was fun. It was a fun little game, and nobody knew exactly. It was like there's a little bit of hidden strategy there, but like I said, and if you hated yourself, you wanted to die, but more or less, but somebody on the boat loved you and didn't want you to die, so you're trying to kill yourself, and it's a fun little game.
I never got around to playing that. I remember it though.
Yep.
Yeah,
and he had a sequel to it. He had a sequel to it too that it was about getting like the island or like the Lost Island or something like that, like the same people, but they actually made it to an island and the same deal kind of thing.
Did any of you guys play Terra, the Days of Wonder game?
Yeah, a long time ago.
No.
We played it. It's a semi-cooperative game, right? We lost every single time we tried to play it.
Did you?
Which means everybody loses, right? Because it's basically like you're trying to keep the Earth from dying, right? Like from running out of resources or whatever the theme. It's definitely Earth preservation.
Natural. When did this game come out?
A while ago. I remember hearing about it, but I never played
God.
it. Yeah.
This box art is something else. I love it.
I don't remember what it looks like. What is it?
It's a random white dude hugging the Earth.
Yes,
okay. Looks like the Earth got into a fist fight with a thermometer.
It's semi-cooperative. And I learned in my group that don't mean shit. Nobody wants to help the world.
Yeah,
you'd have to contribute. I forget exactly how it worked, but we played it several times, and I'm like, we got to try to beat this game, like just like not die, and we never could do it.
I love the premise of semi-co-op, but it
never works out.
Have you played
with the right group? But it's the flimsiest game type.
Archipelago.
Cutthroat Caverns works really well.
Cutthroat Caverns.
Cutthroat Caverns work really good as a semi-co-op, like because you're just trying to make sure you're the person who gets the last hit on the monster to get the points for it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't kill it, you all die. It was.
Yeah, it sounds like it would break too.
The 10th edition,
you would lose. Yeah.
Well, they just released, I think, a 10th or a 15th edition of it. It's really solid. It's got tons of monsters. It's good value if you're interested in the game.
Cutthroat Caverns.
I think from last year.
Yeah, it was. Who wrote it? Was that Jolly Roger Games? No, Smirk and Dagger.
That's Dagger. Yeah.
God, where did I pull that out of?
Smirk and Dagger.
Is they still around?
Covert?
They got to be.
Is that Kurt Covert?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did another one that was pretty big too. I can't remember the other one.
I remember when we played that game. I can't remember the name of it now, but I'll find it. Hold on. Where you have to like all kill somebody in one turn, or it's like secret voting, and one person gets killed.
I know what you're talking about. That one was pretty popular too. It got an expansion, if I recall.
Oh my god, I hated that game.
Secret.
It had like a raven on the front. Was that it?
I'll find it.
All right, since we got everybody here, BGCon.
Dead Last.
Yeah, Dead Last. That was a good game too. I like that game.
BGCon. I think we might be almost sold out already.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Nice.
I think maybe.
Really?
There's probably a few hundred tickets left. So I looked like an hour ago. There's like a couple hundred tickets.
Awesome.
What about the room, Scott?
What about them?
They up yet, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, Well, I talked to your man Jeff. I secured our booth for Gray Fox Games.
Okay.
I told Shane I was in charge of it. He goes, "Hey, make sure you get us in that back corner shit pile like we had last year."
No, there's still a fair amount of tickets left. There's like 350 tickets left. The back corner shit pile.
He goes, "Make sure you get the back corner shit pile like we had last
What are you
time
talking
we
about?
went." I remember, and this is
You guys
not
are
to be
so
mean,
fussy.
but the
Aren't they?
and I've said this before. He'll probably ask me to pick the booth, and I'll do it with some trepidation because the last thing I did for TMG before Michael Mendes called me up to tell me he was firing me was, I should say, being laid off. I should say, because I got severance, and it had nothing to do with my performance. It was just the fact that he had no money. Was the last thing I did was I went to the BGG Con meeting and picked
Draft.
picked a primo spot for TMG. Like, you walked in the door and they were like the first company you saw.
They've been like they were with us for like since the beginning.
Yeah.
Not the beginning, but pretty early.
Yeah.
So it's like a seniority thing, right? Like you're how many years in a row you've done it. I guess that's all gone.
Hopefully
all
my
that legacy is gone.
All the legacy is gone because they reset for a year.
No, TMG's gone, right? I mean, I doubt TMG. Will
Obviously,
be
I get to bring some of that over because of the fact that I used to work there and my close personal friendship with the guy who owns the company. That, of course, that too. But
I don't make the rules.
You got.
I delegate that. I delegate that to a heartless person who doesn't care who my friends are.
Oh, Jeff likes me. I'll
Good
lean on
idea,
that.
Scotty.
I'll lean on the fact that Jeff likes me. I'll lean on that.
Well, that lets me have like plausible deniability. When Lance comes for me, like, "Hey, can we get a good booth?" I'm like, "It's not up to me."
Yeah, you already pawned me off today when I asked you about the.
Because I honestly didn't know. If I knew, I would have told you. That's why I hire people. If I had to do everything I hired people for, I'd just go insane.
That's why he hires people.
All right, so you're making it happen, and I understand. I'm not going to hold you to this. I'm not going to hold you to anything that you say here.
Oh, I won't be saying anything then. I don't know what you're going to be telling me.
What precautions are you going to take? If you were having
anything that's required.
If you were
anything and everything that's required.
Okay, if you were having it next week,
yes.
What precautions would you take?
Whatever the Dallas County and the world says, the World Health Organization.
Blaming it on the rain is what you're trying to tell me, basically.
Oh, we can only do.
Why wouldn't we follow whatever guidelines there are?
Yeah.
Well, but do you feel like, would you want to take extra guidelines? Say, like they said, you know what, lick all the doorknobs you want, sanitizers out the door, make sure you cough in each other's mouths.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
So would you say, let's take a step
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm wearing masks. I will be wearing a mask, and I won't be shaking anybody's hands, and I won't be hugging anyone.
Even in November, huh?
I mean, I think just doing that in general is a good thing for cons.
Well, that's how they're going to win.
I don't care about
people
wearing
like you
at all. It doesn't bother me in any way whatsoever. I guess some people have a big bother with that stuff, but I mean, I've sat in my house with a mask on for like 12 hours. It doesn't bother me.
Why'd you do that?
Because people were here working.
No.
I had to get my air conditioning fixed.
No, that's how they're going to win, Scott. People like you.
Who's winning?
Like you. There's people like you that keep,
we're actually making BGG masks, so we'll be handing them out.
It's people like you that keep big.
Oh darn! Now I wish I was going.
I know you're gonna miss out on the free mask.
I'm sure, Kevin, you got a little pull. I'm sure you can get. You know what?
I'll send you a mask.
I'll steal one and I'll send one to you if you won't give you one.
I hope I have a picture in my mind of what they look like, but I don't know if that would be able to be done.
So Kevin,
yeah, I mean,
why aren't, if you don't mind, why aren't you going to BGG Con? What is your reasoning?
Well, for one, I'll be a month away from 72 years old, so I'm in the category that is at risk.
Okay.
Yes, I've been vaccinated. Early on. That's the plus of being older is you got in line sooner. So my second shot was Valentine's Day. That's how long ago it was. And yeah, I'll be wearing a mask through probably February or
Forever.
March next year. When I saw the data on the number of standard flu cases in the state and like 5 deaths compared to a normal year, it's like, yeah, I'm going to be wearing a mask
Wear a
every
mask.
winter from now on.
If you don't feel uncomfortable with it, I mean, it's
Yeah, and
Doesn't bother me.
I think the thing about BGGCon is that if I had to make this decision in say August, September, when more, we know where the country's going as far as, what direction is the line going at this point,
Right.
I'd be more comfortable about making a choice of going. But right now, I don't. There's
Yeah.
just
yeah. I
too
mean,
many odds and ends out
well,
there that I'm
I
not
don't-
sure about.
well, I don't know what to say because I don't know the data, but I have not heard of any breakthrough infections yet. Right? You can catch it, but you're not going to, be hospitalized.
That's the plus.
That's
but,
what I've read.
But do I even want that?
Yeah, you do want to even test it.
I don't even want
I mean, I don't see the country going to a normal, like pre-COVID world ever. We are living with this now because it has not been.
Yeah.
It's not going to be eliminated. There's not enough people getting vaccinated.
The disease itself.
I don't feel any danger by being vaccinated. Like I don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna catch it and die. Like, that fear is out of my mind.
Do you go out much? I know you were staying in a lot.
I'm back to normal. Yeah, I'm pretty much back to normal.
So I'm just curious, what percentage of a typical location would you say is mask usage where you live? Like
Everybody I
mandated,
see, everyone and by going out, I don't mean a lot. We didn't go out a lot before, but I pretty much see everybody wearing masks in my part of the neighborhood, I should say.
Okay.
If I go into a place of business, there are almost everybody's wearing a mask. I don't remember someone not wearing one.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, believe me, I'm not
Really.
We're
I was
talking
gonna
about like
say,
we're talking about like 5 places in the last couple months, right? I mean, it's not like we're going out like
Yeah.
partying it up.
because
I
take
will
my
say-
kids quite a few places during the day, and I don't see less than 50%. And that's in Indiana though, which which is what it is. But it's
I have noticed a change in the last week.
Yeah. So
The 15th was the day that the state of California opened up a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Prior
People
to
are
that point,
mask out. Yeah.
you couldn't go into any place without a mask, and
And
the
now it's
storekeepers wearing them and such. Today we were in Half Moon Bay. Now Half Moon Bay is kind of out of the main Bay Area, and half the people were not wearing masks, including some of the shop owners, which surprised me, quite frankly.
Right.
so here.
It's changing.
Yeah, I seen that here. They just like opened up completely not that long ago. I think maybe 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Jen forced me to go sneaker shopping recently, and that
For
is-
sneaking.
yes, and that was the only shop that I've seen in the last couple weeks that required you to wear a mask in there. Now, the other places I've gone, the employees have worn masks, although people don't have to. And most people aren't wearing a mask. But if it says you have to, then they will. Yeah.
It is in Minnesota and North Dakota now. It is basically if you're vaccinated, you go you can go maskless, and it doesn't matter where you work.
That's
the
how
only
it is
the only place I have gone where I had to put a mask on was I had a doctor's appointment, and I walked up to and that was a couple weeks ago, and I walked up because I had to go give blood for them to test my medication, and I walked in and they said, whatever, there's a sign that says we wear a mask to protect you, you must wear a mask to protect us, and so
It's so weird how America has reacted to this, whereas in like, big cities in Japan, they're like they all wear masks, no problem, no one's complaining.
But
There's
I mean,
common
but it's not
over
weird.
there.
It isn't weird because, like I said, when I was in Japan, for the Tokyo Game Fair, like I saw people wearing masks all the time. It wasn't a large percentage, and I remember I asked Michael. I said, "What's up with that?" And he's like, "If you're sick, you just go to work." You know, it's like in the U.S.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
sick-
yeah.
we're
They
sick.
do not like giving people time off in Japan.
Well, no, it's just they just don't want to. But also they have they also have a different mentality. It's like they also once you get into like a corporation, like in Japan, you have to really work hard at getting fired. I mean, basically they'll keep you employed, but they'll just move you further and further down the ladder, and maybe you'll just choose to leave. So but no, but I mean,
non-confrontational discipline.
yeah,
We're gonna give you the shittiest jobs and treat you the shittiest way, and then maybe you'll quit.
yeah, maybe you'll quit and move somewhere else, and you can be.
That happens here.
Instead of like bringing happiness to both of you, where you fire somebody, like they're happy and you're happy.
Yeah. No. So no, we used to do that at my old job at U.S. Bank. That we used to train people out all the time.
Nortel was like that too.
Yeah, make your life just absolutely miserable, and then you will leave, and then we don't have to pay you unemployment.
At Nortel, they basically put someone in your cube to watch over your shoulder the entire day.
Yeah, I see.
The death cube. We called it the death cube. Like if you were ever in the death cube, you knew you were in trouble. It almost inevitably ended in the person leaving.
Oh yeah, because and I
who wants to work that way?
Well, I watch them train people out all the time. Just make them miserable and they leave. And it's their choice, right? Or you smarten up and become a good employee, and then they don't have to fire you, and so everybody wins.
Comply, motherfucker.
Yeah, comply.
Did you work in Nortel, Scott?
Hey,
did you work in Nortel, Scott?
I did.
Nice.
B&R, actually. You know that?
Really?
You're Canadian. You know B&R and Nortel and
Nortel.
Northern Telecom. It was Northern Telecom when I worked there.
So Kevin, so a person.
It was my first job.
As you're staring at 72, which congratulations, good for you.
Congratulations.
I want to be talking to you at 92. For both our sakes. What would it take for the world and the parameters for you to go to a convention now? Any convention. And so you can use the size of the convention as one of the descriptors that you would go to.
So I at the start I said that I did get some live, one-to-one or live people face-to-face playing a couple of weekends ago, and there were about 30 people, but every one of them was vaccinated, and I knew that, and I knew everybody there. And I think that's the problem with the larger convention is I don't know everybody. I don't know that everybody's going to be vaccinated. And somewhere in between that is where I will and where I won't, at least this year, go. Next year, I think things are going to be different, and I don't think I'll have a problem. But this year, I still am a little hesitant.
And I apologize to ask this question with Ollie here, because he's planning on having a convention this year. Do you think it would be wrong to ask for proof of vaccination from attendees as a guideline to attend a convention?
No, I don't. I don't think that's one. That's like somebody just say not going to happen.
Law against it now in Texas.
It's HIPAA. It'll never happen.
No, it's definitely not. HIPAA.
No, it's not HIPAA. It's definitely
there's a weird
I think it's a moral question Lance is getting to there.
Oh, the moral question.
I don't think he was getting into the minutia of the laws. Were you?
How about this? How about this?
I mean, I guess with the science that I understand, even if you are vaccinated, you can still catch and transmit COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just aren't going to
That's
die
my
from it.
understanding too.
because
But
your
okay,
reactions
so
will be
so let me say this. How about this? Would you? And I don't. If this was legal, would you? Anybody here? I'll ask anybody. Anyway, if this was legal, taking the legality of this out of the question, you show up for the convention. This is going to sound horrible, but just stick with me here. You show up for the convention. They say, I'd like to see your ID and your proof of vaccination. And the proof of vaccination has to be 2 weeks or older, right? For it to be fully integrated into your system. If you can't produce those two pieces of information, that's fine. You can still attend. Here's your badge, or here's your bracelet that you're going to put on, and your bracelet's going to be yellow, let's say. And yellow means is that you don't. So if you have yellow, that means that you need to have your mask on at all times. I mean, you can take it off once you're up in your room. That's fine. But otherwise, if you're on the floor, you got to wear a mask. If you have it, okay, here's your red bracelet. You can walk around without a mask. Do you think would you? I'd ask everybody. Do you think that'd be too outlandish, too much to ask?
I think it is a little bit too much. You've just got a large group of people. You don't have that kind of control over it. You can't really say that. Now, what I would say is that if I do go and I'm sitting down and I want to play a game and somebody comes up that I don't know, I have no problem asking them that myself. And I will trust their word if they say they have been. I don't need proof. I want to look in their eye and say, have you been vaccinated? And they're going to say yes or no.
Yeah.
And I'll say, well, if they say no, I'm sorry. Sorry, I just can't sit next to somebody who's not been vaccinated. I apologize.
I mean, I get that sentiment or what you're trying to go for, but like, even if you're vaccinated, you can still transmit COVID.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it is possible, from what I
So
understand.
but
Whenever
there's a
I
smaller
would
chance.
wear
I
a
mean,
mask.
by being vaccinated doesn't mean you. It's sort of like a shield, right? It's your own shield versus their shield. Like they
Yeah.
just because they're vaccinated doesn't mean they have it. They couldn't.
But I would still wear a mask in a
Yeah, no,
small room.
I will be too.
I
Yeah,
don't think
and
I'll
that's
be.
a minor inconvenience for 5 days of playing games.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just got invited to a buddy's place. He's having 4 days of gaming at his house, just here in Ottawa, and actually just over the river in Quebec. And he invited maybe about half a dozen people. I'm not going because I don't know the other guys, and I'm not sure if they're vaccinated or not. And here in Canada, not everybody's like. Rarely will you find right now a double vaccinated person. I am, but
Oh yeah,
that's because I'm an essential caregiver for my parents. But most other people my age or younger are not. So
it's interesting to see how far behind you guys are.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're
By the
doing
way,
the mixed
We're not
doses
that far
too, right?
behind.
I'm
They're
also-
not that
oh,
far.
but a lot of states-
No.
A lot of states aren't that far ahead either. Like I think I read that. Is it Mississippi? No, Alabama, 30%, something like that.
Yeah.
Alabama, I
Everyone,
think.
get your shit together.
I mean,
Rogers,
come on.
Rogers up in Vancouver, BC, and he just got his shot last week or week before, I think.
How old is he?
Rogers,
He's probably in his
approaching
50s.
50, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's teenagers and younger now that are really going to have to wait a while before they can get theirs here.
Yeah.
And we're starting to allow for the mixed doses like Pfizer and Moderna.
Right. Is it because you guys don't have the ability to give it out, or it's the quantity of vaccines you don't have, or both?
From what I understand, the main supplier is the United States, and we haven't been able to acquire
You're only getting
the doses
we
from the
couldn't
United
cut
States.
22 million doses off for you guys. I mean, come on.
What's that?
44 million, right? What's the population in Canada? Like 12, 20
30 something?
30,
High 30s?
10% of the US, right? 30 something.
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to be going to any public events for con wise for 2021.
Damn.
No matter how small.
That free room I was going to give you is just going to have to go to work.
Damn.
I will be there next year with
better be.
bells on.
You better be.
Likewise.
I might.
I hope that's the way this goes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how soon I'll be rushing back to Gen Con, but I would definitely want to do 2 next year, which is BGG and Origins, because I've never been to either. So
Well, this year you could
I'm
do
curious
like every
how
con within 3 months.
Here's my concern. Who's putting out new games? because I know the shipping is really real bad right now, and you got to start having your games like at least planned to be shipped by now, right? Like at least on the docket to get to Gen Con or Essen. And I don't know what I haven't heard. I mean, I don't know. A lot of publishers don't really say, "Well, it's 4 weeks away." You know, like nobody says that. They're just like, "We're waiting for it."
How long do you think that's going to last for, the elevated costs?
I don't know.
I don't think it'll be much longer.
I don't have any concept of the problems.
I was talking to somebody, I think it was James Hudson, and he was like, from what he heard, the industry buzz is like Lunar New Year, and then other people are saying, no, all of 2022.
Oh, really?
He said, it's going to be all 20. Oh, that'll kill. Oof, that's bad.
I know the Suez Canal problem caused one problem, but there was also a large shutdown with the large shipping port in China.
Yeah.
Due to to COVID, and that they're still working off the backlog.
And our ports are all backed up.
That's real tough.
I think it'll work its way out soon though. Like lumber's starting to come down because that's all, you know, the mills are starting to go up. Aluminum,
I hope so.
That's all starting to come down. You know, people are starting to get back out to work, and you know, I think it was just a manpower shortage for a while.
But how much of it now do you think is punitive?
Punitive how?
China to
shipping?
Western civilization.
I think that's what I don't know if that's.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think it's a supply and demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, people want to get stuff done, right? If the price becomes too high, you eventually say, well, I'm not going to ship anything back.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. And then it all starts collapsing. So
yeah, I mean, they can raise their prices within reason.
It wants to be where it needs to be. Yeah, it has to. Now that doesn't seem to have put any limits on these things right now, because I think it's like 5x right now.
What is it that much? Oh, I
think it was like $4 to $5 grand previously, COVID, and now it's like 17 to 20
for a container.
For a container,
isn't it 40 now?
No.
I'm sure I saw that number somewhere.
I think. Well, James posted up a thing the last week. It was like 18, I think, was this number.
Oh, okay, maybe I got my numbers wrong.
If it was 40, that would be some real deep shit.
That's huge. Like that's like bankrupting.
Yeah, I mean your margin's gone then on your shipping.
Ouch. Time to bring manufacturing closer to home.
I've been saying that for years.
How is that possible?
Automation.
That seems so impossible.
Automation.
It's not. We did it once before. We could do it again.
Yeah, but I think we've rusted it all out. I mean, it would take a lot of money to get that going.
Elon Musk.
And the government doesn't seem to want to bring it back.
It was never
there
really
should be incentives then.
The government never really did it before, though. It was pretty much all private industry that, you know, the government would help set up here and there, but it was mainly, you know.
Here's the thing: the prices, even with the hike, the prices in China are still way cheap.
Oh yeah, just because of their way of living and all that. You know, their standard of living and all that's cheaper. Yeah, of course, if it came here, it would be more expensive. But
18,500 for a 40-foot container.
Okay.
Whereas it normally was. Someone replied to me in there.
Now, how many say Cosmos boxes would you fit in that?
Lance?
That's a good question.
That's a Lance question.
I am so intrigued by this answer.
Yes.
This is one entire shipping container, right?
Yeah.
One entire shipping container. What size game are you looking at?
Like 11 by 11 by 3.
12 by 12.
So a classic,
12 by 3.
So what you're looking for there isn't so much that size of the box. You're asking how many of those you can put in a standard box container. So you're looking at putting
on a pallet.
You're going to put 6. You're going to put 6 of those games in one box, and then you're going to be able to stack.
I don't know if you can go floor to ceiling with that stuff unless you pallet or you floor stack it. Then you can go floor to ceiling.
You have to floor to pallet. I mean, yeah, that's tough to do.
If you really, and I think people will be maxing out because they don't, and then you pay for someone to unload and put it on a pallet, right? Because if you could put the pallets in the container, then you just take them out. But you get less because you can't.
Yeah, you definitely get less.
Yeah.
So
floor to ceiling
only goes so high.
What's the height of a container?
8 foot, I think.
8 foot, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like 8
I
by
think it's
10 by 20? 8 by 10 by 30?
Oh, it's
I think it's 8 by 8.5 by whatever.
I don't know if this show has ever gone this into the weeds on board games, and I love it. There is no show talking about this.
I mean, with you can depending upon the size of the game. I mean,
Well, here it has 2,350 cubic feet. Divide that by the cubic. What's one game's cubic foot?
27.
Inches.
So
27 is a cubic foot. Never mind. It's a concrete thing.
I mean,
What's a
1
cubit?
by 1 by 3. So 1 by
It's
1.
3 cubic feet, or
No, 1 by 1 by a third.
so it's 0.3
0.3,
0.33 cubic feet.
and then
that doesn't matter. You gotta think of those 6 games in that one box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The size of that
double it.
box.
Can you ballpark it, Lance?
I'm trying to without giving out our information.
So that's like what? two full cubic feet then if you're like 6 games to a box.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you do the math. I mean, like,
We'll call it 2.5. And how many cubic feet in a container?
You could probably fit like 2,000 in there.
you
So,
can put.
yeah.
So
That's
you can-
perfect stacking. It's probably way less than that.
Yeah.
And you never get perfect stacking.
Yeah, you're never gonna get
because those pallets are almost always wrapped up in plastic, so the shit doesn't fall over the
Right.
place.
Are you saying 1800 then?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, so this isn't meant to be like. It's so stunning to me that 6 to 9 months ago, and I might have mentioned this last time. 6 to 9 months ago, we were screaming at the top of our lungs how shitty freight was. Like just like
I'm
telling everybody in the world, like getting shit out of China was super expensive, super tough, super impossible, screaming at the top of our lungs how tough it was. And nobody believed anybody. Nobody believed us. Constant updates. I was called a liar. I was called a thief. I was called a piece of shit. I was said, I hope I know where you live in Minnesota so I can send you something. Just
Oh, nice.
yeah, I mean, so like all kinds of horrible shit, right? And that's fine, whatever. Nobody was being serious about it. It's just like, it just people being assholes, right? But the thing is that now, 6, 9 months later, all these media people are making all these videos and everything like, oh, look at all this stuff. I just got this email from a company about a Kickstarter I'm waiting for. It literally was probably like, if they had typed it up on a piece of paper, it would have been like 7 pages long, and half of it was links to stories talking about all the shipping crisis that's going on. Stories that were like old. That was like, this is stuff that's been going on forever. That like, and I'm just like, yeah, I was screaming this at the top, and it doesn't matter. I'm glad the information's out there, but it's like all of a sudden now everybody's like, really? Shipping's been bad? Yeah, shipping's been bad for a year. It's not getting any better. It's we're paying out the nose to get our stuff out of China right now. And what they've realized is these freight companies have realized is that we're willing to pay it. So they have no reason to charge less ever.
yeah.
Ever.
People are paying it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
You kind of have to.
yeah, it's like, oh, you were paying us $4,000 before, but you're willing to pay $15,000? Well, just keep it coming,
It's the exact same thing that happened in the California drought from 20 years ago. Is everybody got so good at saving water, the water companies couldn't make enough money, so they had to raise the rates.
Yeah.
When water became available more again, nobody went back to the old ways, or very few. Did the rates go down? Of course not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hopefully those rates go down. Otherwise, they're really.
So shipping's the same thing.
I mean, I feel like it's almost a commodity type thing, right? Like there's so many shipping companies. Someone will undercut the prices, and then I'll have to undercut my prices, and I'll have to, or I'm not getting on that boat. But all the boats are all full, so it's a supply
probably goes,
and
yeah.
yeah. And there's a graph actually I saw on Business or not Bloomberg. It's a spiky graph. Like it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, but it never wavers between 2 points, right, of time or of money.
Right.
See if I can find it.
So what, I mean, without talking too much inside baseball here, what's an appropriate amount of percent, like dollar amount for a game to ascribe to a game for freight. Like for a full size box, for a 12 by 12 box,
Well,
like what,
if you're paying-
$5?
Do the math, right? Let's say what was the number I said? 18,000 earlier. Was that
18,000, yeah.
Something like
divide that by 2,000 games?
That's like $10.
Yeah,
That's huge.
yeah, almost 10, like $9, right?
Fuck.
Yeah, so you're paying $9 of freight plus U.S. postage,
And that,
which is
that
probably another $10.
And that's real money, not that Canadian money.
That's $20.
they're pretty close right now, I think. Actually,
Are they?
Oh, I just transferred some U.S. funds to my account. I got robbed.
What do you use? Oh, like PayPal?
No. I have a U.S. I have a
US
U.S. bank account.
Gotcha.
A TD.
Right. Yeah, no, it's an interesting thought experiment. I don't know how many people can lose $10 in margin because you're
One
probably
game,
only
yeah.
making 15.
Yeah.
If you're selling a $50 game, you probably paid 10 to make it. Then you got to pay all that shipping.
It's so funny. Like I talked to.
There's still
you
some
talk to
margin there,
people-
but it ain't much.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I first realized how much. Like, what do you mean? It's only cost $5 to make? That's nothing.
Yeah.
You sell it for this, and then. The person talked to me and they're like, yeah, but there's this,
Ooh, a
this,
juice
this,
pouch.
this, and this.
A juice pouch.
Is that
What is
a
it? Capri Sun?
But a Capri
No,
Sun?
that's a Kool-Aid, baby.
Kool-Aid,
Kool-Aid.
yeah.
Kool-Aid. Hey, Kool-Aid.
Just doing some
yeah.
product placement on the show, you know.
Yeah? Land a Kool-Aid gig.
Uh-huh.
Actually, speaking of product,
That's your
placement,
crowd? Grant, cool.
Yep. This mustache says real popular with 13-year-olds.
Ooh, no.
Yeah,
Well,
so
if
You
Oh,
want to go
if
somewhere
you're
else
gonna
with
sell
that,
the-
Grant?
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Matt. Kickstarter has basically made it that these companies will not suffer too badly because they're getting full retail.
yeah,
Normally, you would sell that game for 25. If it's a $50 game, you're going to sell it into wholesale for like 20, $25.
yeah, that's true.
Then you've lost all your margin and you're fucked.
Yeah.
So if you kickstarted it, you got that extra 25 on top of the 25. You know what I mean? So you have some now.
yeah,
Hopefully,
and then there's
you
all
know,
that
but you
sweat
gotta pay
equity
people.
that you put
You got to
into
pay
it.
people and you got to pay. So it just sucks. It's a sucky business.
Yeah,
I don't think it's only with board. I think people just don't realize the value of time anymore with anything. We're
absolutely
so used to getting shit so cheap.
yeah.
We don't realize somebody is behind that, putting time into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What do you mean? It's only got 52 cards and a piece of cardboard, but like.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
well, what about the 2 years of development that went into the people have no concept of that. No.
yeah. Backers want 300% value for their dollar, and it's tough.
Design and
'cause, I mean,
development and art have no. They just look at the raw goods cost, right? Cardboard,
Yeah.
yeah,
paper.
yeah, exactly.
How did we get so entitled?
Good question.
99-cent apps. That's the answer.
Yes.
When you sell your baby for 99 cents,
Mm-hmm.
you have basically gone to the bottom of the barrel and given no value to anything, thus reducing the value of everything. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
No problem, Scott. What's on
So
next week's
speaking
agenda?
Speaking of product placement, I'm rewatching that TV show Grimm, and pretty much every computer you see on there is an Apple computer.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, do they pay Apple for that?
Oh yeah, Apple.
Oh, yeah,
Apple,
Apple pays them.
Apple pays them.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
product pays
I don't
them.
think
There's a lot of
anyone's-
money in that.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody does that stuff for free.
Well, back then,
Yeah.
I know like Smallville, they had that one iMac or something, and that like blew it up, and that's the reason
So-
they went with that.
So why do people cover the logos on stuff then?
Because
Because
They don't have the
haven't
rights.
paid for it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they what?
they did not get paid. They
Right.
did not.
Right.
Right. Like if I don't have a deal to show your logo, I'm not going to show it for nothing.
I guess it has to be good.
There is
for
copyright stuff
Yeah.
where, let's say I was making a film and I punch somebody and I'm wearing an Adidas hat. Well, Adidas is like, hey, we don't want to be associated with punching somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of
It's a
thing.
brand misuse. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you remember,
I
the
remember?
movie? Did you see the movie Gone Girl?
Yeah.
So you know the part where they bust into his shed and there's all that crap, like all the stuff that she had been buying and like putting in his name. There's board games in there from Rio Grande games.
Oh, really?
There's a whole like Race for the Galaxies in there, and
Wow.
I want to say Dominion,
Uh-huh.
and they paid for that. They had hired somebody to put their stuff in media, and that was one of them.
That's awesome.
It's a weird movie to put it in, but like
Yeah.
especially in that scene.
I remember when Eureka, the TV show Eureka, was struggling in their 4th year or something like that. The 5th year, it was like blatantly obvious product placement, right? They would be holding a product like this, and they'd place
It's like
it on
Wayne's
the shelf.
World. Man, those
What's
guys
that?
are such sell at Wayne's World. Man, those guys are such sellouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was so funny.
On purpose, though.
Yeah, it was funny. But
Grant,
yeah, I think
I had a question for you, Grant.
What?
I had two. I can't remember the one though.
Well, I'm glad you told me
ask
you
the
had
second
to.
one.
I had to say, it'll come to me maybe. I don't know. Rough day, stoner. Never mind. You hear a lot of people moving out of California, right? Like in
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood in general.
Yep.
Say Hollywood itself were to move to wherever, Texas, wherever. How would that affect the comics who are more in the film, say, comedic actors?
A lot of comedians would move with it.
Would they fly to where the movies are being made?
Yeah.
Would they?
I mean, it's already happening. Toronto's a huge movie making city.
Yeah, big time. And
Well, yeah, Toronto has been. Yeah.
You should move to Toronto, Grant.
yeah, I think so.
Well, do you rely more on like film stuff, or are you just mainly just touring stand up?
Stand up is my main thing. It's
Yeah.
the acting is whatever extra I can get.
So that really wouldn't affect you. You
So,
could just
but
fly
the
in or
stand-up is
whatever.
that's where I work the most.
Just not stand up in Portland.
Stand-up's where I work the most. What's that?
Just not stand up in Portland, though.
Yeah.
That was
I
hilarious.
meditating a lot when I was there.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I was just curious.
But yeah,
But-
so I mean, if you are like a newer actor, you should not move to Los Angeles unless you're real young. If you're like, 18 or 19, then move to Los Angeles. If you're like 24, live in Atlanta or New Orleans or something like that and get a couple of credits before you move to it. It's a lot easier to get, or Toronto or wherever, get a couple of credits that says you're legit before you move to LA.
What kind of credits say that you're legit?
Like a part on a TV show. You're like, I was a guest star on whatever show or movie was shooting in that town. There's a lot of stuff that shoots in those places. So, it's like if you live in New York and you've never been on one of those cop shows, then you probably aren't doing great.
I was a dead body on Law and Order.
Yeah.
No, I was just curious, like, to be in the movies and all, you don't really have to live in Hollywood. You could fly into a location and all that. I mean, sure, a lot of it's
but it's
meet
just
and
a lot
greets
of
and
it.
all that.
So it's called, any bigger part is cast out of Los Angeles or New York, but mostly
Right.
Los Angeles. Anything that is like more than one day on set is cast in those places. Now, day players usually get cast from the city that they're filming in. They're not going to pay somebody from Los Angeles to fly in and do one scene. They'd rather just hire somebody who lives in Toronto or Atlanta or New Orleans or whatever. And so
How tough is it to track somebody down wherever you end up being? If you wanted somebody to be in your flim,
That's your agent's job.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would definitely be your agent's job.
Yeah.
So
I'm just curious. Like, a lot of people moved in the country over the last year. I'm curious how the dynamic of that is going to affect it. Yeah.
well, I mean, Austin right now has a lot of people moving to it because Joe Rogan moved to Austin, and there's
Yeah.
a couple of comedy clubs that have opened in Texas.
It's a great
Oh.
city too.
They're trying to make Austin.
Eh.
If you know,
I didn't live in
like,
Dallas. I'd live in Austin.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
So
100%.
Chicago is sort of the capital of the country for improv. And New York is sort of the capital for stand-up, and Los Angeles is the capital for acting. Austin is making a play right now to be the capital for podcasting. Like Austin is trying to be the #1 podcast city.
It's interesting because you get podcasts from anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Like
but-
I could say I'm in Austin. You would know.
But there's a lot of people, a lot of comedians will do live podcasts
Right,
and
right.
have like an audience there and stuff like that. And all these people are moving to Austin and recording their podcast. So now you can all do each other's podcasts
Yeah.
and help cross promote and stuff like that.
Well, Austin's huge for music, though, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is.
live music
Yeah.
is a thing there.
I mean, that's what
Yeah, it
South by Southwest is there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Austin's an awesome city. Good food, good arts,
Mhm.
cool people.
Yeah.
Terrible traffic.
Terrible
So-
what?
Terrible traffic. There's no public train. I mean, the transport system there is basically
And I get frustrated with Austin because
There's
it's
no
not
light
walkable
rail.
at all.
it's
not
light
what?
rail. No, it's all highways and shit.
It's not walkable at all. Like
Walkable.
I to be honest, think Austin's a little overrated. I think it is the best city in Texas, and it is a solid city. But there are people that are like, man, Austin's like the greatest place in the world. I'm like, I don't see it. I think it's a good city. It doesn't make my top 10 of American cities.
Ooh, what's Grant's top 10?
Wow, we need to know
Uh-oh.
the top 10.
I want to hear this.
What's my top
Fargo.
10?
Fargo better be on there.
Spitball it.
Fargo's like number 2.
I mean, Fargo, I don't know if Fargo doesn't make the top 5, but it probably does make the top 10. Let's see.
Hmm.
My
His
top
ass.
My top 5. No, I just think Fargo's a legit cool city,
Mm.
but Fargo is walkable and stuff. At least the whole downtown area.
Or in the summer, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And that also does affect me. I haven't been to Fargo in February. If I did
Yeah,
that,
that's
maybe
true.
it would fall off my list entirely. My top 10. All right, let's see. In no particular order, the top 5 is San Francisco, Denver, Asheville, North Carolina, Madison, Wisconsin,
Madison.
and maybe Seattle. Are
Seattle's
all-
great.
Yeah, dope cities.
Interesting that my dad lives in Nashville.
Nashville or Asheville?
Asheville.
Oh,
You said
yeah.
Asheville, North Carolina, right?
Yes, Asheville, North Carolina is probably my number 1.
Interesting.
If we're talking cities that are at like at least 100,000 people, So Asheville's basically just barely gets there. But
What's your least favorite cities?
with my least favorite cities?
Yeah.
Dallas.
Boy. No, the Dallas isn't there. Least favorite cities. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I think Las Vegas can get bent. I also
It's a great place to visit.
Las Vegas is also every time I'm in Las Vegas, I'm performing there by myself, and Las Vegas is not a good city to be by yourself because everybody's going there for the time of their lives, and then you're just like, well, I'm just sitting here like a sad boy. Everybody's like, wow, we'll never forget this, and I'm like eating in the employee cafeteria. There's a bunch of like, there's good parts of like Indianapolis or, some of those cities like Grand Rapids, Indianapolis, Cleveland, they all just feel the same. there's cool neighborhoods in those cities, but overall they're not great cities. You know, Dayton feels like Detroit feels super. I mean, Detroit's tough, and they're trying right now, but you know, it's like still like every third house is empty in Detroit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
How
Oh,
about
yeah.
Flint?
I mean, yeah, Flint's
No,
rough
Flint's
too.
awful.
Man. Yeah. So
And they can't get out. No one can sell their house to leave.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to buy it.
So you know, those are
Have you ever been to
those
Houston?
are some of the. I have been to Houston, and you know, again, I like one of the things that affects how much I like a city is how walkable it is, and
Oh,
nothing in
Houston's-
Texas is walkable at all.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And Austin is the
you-
closest walkable city, but not really.
Yeah.
I think it used to be.
I thought San Antonio was kind of walkable.
When I went to Austin like
the
30
river
years
walk
ago,
is-
it was walkable.
Yeah.
Not now.
Yeah.
San Antonio has the Riverwalk, which is like a tourist area,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Oklahoma
You wouldn't go
City,
there. Yeah,
not
you wouldn't live there.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
It's all hotels and restaurants and bars.
You know, Buffalo, New York feels pretty sad still. You know, there's a lot of places.
They got new leadership
Niagara
Yeah.
Falls is the
yesterday.
saddest city I've ever seen in the world.
And both sides of Niagara Falls are awful for a completely opposite reason.
Yeah, one is extreme poverty and like no one lives there and all the houses are boarded up, and the other one is a tourist trap hell.
And it's like the kitschiest place on earth.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh,
And the hotels pretend like they're Vegas, except they don't give you free drinks.
yeah. So I mean, if you think of like a city, a major city being anything that has a professional sports team, I've been to I think all except for 2 of them. You know? So I'll tell you one, you know, sometimes cities get hyped and they don't meet the hype for very specific reasons. Portland, Maine is a very charming city, and we could not find parking in Portland for less than $40. Get fucked. Get fucked. How you wanna encourage people to like come to your city, and it cost us for a day, and this was I think a Thursday. It wasn't even the weekend, and it cost us $60 to park for the day, so to walk around. You know?
Rough.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was. I remember New York being high like that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Manhattan.
but New York makes sense. New York
Yeah.
is like the busiest city in the country. Portland, Maine, what? Why are you making it so hard?
It's not that expensive at Gen Con. You know, it's 70,000 people there. It's
Yeah.
What do those hotels charge when you park there? Like $40 a day.
now that one might be, yeah, $40 at a hotel, but that's hotel parking. You know
Yeah.
that going into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the only major cities, the only sports cities I haven't been to really are Memphis and Baltimore, actually.
Balt-
Yeah.
Depends on where you go in Baltimore. Well, that's any city, but the main sections are pretty. It's nice, you know, where the aquarium and the convention center and all that is.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent. You get a little farther back into the city, it's it's like any city. They got the ghettos and the boarded houses and all
Toronto is really walkable. Man, there was a ton of people walking around. We dropped Eric Lang off at his house once, and there was like 10,000 people on the sidewalks.
Where does he live?
Montreal is great too.
Toronto.
And super
Oh,
walkable.
Montreal's amazing to walk around in. Quebec City is
Yeah.
even better.
that.
I've never been to Quebec City.
Oh, it's such a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It's like super old and cobblestone and stuff. Beautiful.
Cool. Yeah,
Lots
I
of
haven't
hills though.
been to Toronto either yet.
You haven't?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
You should get to Ottawa.
I've
Ottawa's
only-
nicer than Toronto.
Only been to the Snakes and Lattes and Eric Lang's apartment. The front of it.
Where are you, Matt?
Ottawa.
Okay.
That's the capital.
Yeah, we know a little bit about Canada.
Toronto's the capital of Ontario,
Yeah.
which is where Ottawa is too, but Ottawa's the nation.
There's a comedian with a great joke about the Canadian national anthem. They were like, man, Canada is such an afterthought to America. But it's also kind of an afterthought to themselves. Even their national anthem is like, oh, Canada.
Good one.
I've heard that.
I love the closing ceremonies of Canada and the Olympics. Anybody gonna watch the Olympics? Anybody excited about that?
Where is it?
I
Tokyo.
never was.
Tokyo.
I don't know. And
I mean, will
Tokyo's
you
not
will you
happy
watch it?
about it.
Yeah, Tokyo's not.
I'm kind of excited. There's a Dallas woman who's in the 100-meter dash.
Well,
There's a cheer for her.
yeah, I was never really big into sports to begin with, let alone these like.
I like
weird sports.
individual sports.
Yeah,
I like the Olympics individual sports.
Yeah, I mean, I might watch a couple events. I'm like really invested in Euro right now, so that's like taking up a lot of my
Oh,
time.
the soccer thing.
Yeah.
Football.
Yep. Exactly.
Football.
I like World Cup. I guess
World Cup
this
is
Euro
so
Cup
much
is like
fun.
kind of like World Cup though, right? Except
Euro Cup is so. There are 6 regions in world soccer. The FIFA, the organizing body, breaks it into 6 regions, and each of those regions has its own regional championship as well as the World Cup. And so Europe is obviously the biggest of any region for soccer. So this is their regional championship. So, and this happens. The World Cup happens every 4 years, just like the Olympics, and Euro happens every 4 years as well. So.
We stayed at the hotel that the German team was staying at in Essen.
Oh, that's fun.
That was pretty exciting. I got to see the coach. He was mad because they had lost. They played the night before.
When was this?
Oh gosh, what year was that? It was a few years ago, maybe like 4. I want to say. I think they played Ireland in like some kind of World Cup qualifier game.
Okay.
And Ireland actually beat them.
Okay.
Not Ireland.
And I made a joke and I said, how many Irish will pay me to bang pots and pans all night? Because we were in the same hotel.
Yeah.
And then the next day I saw the coach and he was just pissed. I wanted to get a picture with him, but he was just so angry. I'm like,
Kevin, thanks for
Not gonna
joining.
talk
I
to him.
appreciate it, man. I just I'm glad you're able to pop in. Just
Yeah, it was good. And
you
Yeah,
know
see it.
you're welcome any Wednesday evening, and just let me know if you want to come in and say, have you played any new games?
Yeah, what's going on
Answer
with-
that.
yeah.
yeah.
What have you played?
I'll
anything?
try to play a new one next time.
Okay, what did you play in your meetup when you went to the group? What did you play? What was the best game you played when you were there?
I forgot that we also played Sushi Go, but I still like Fuji Flush. I think it's a fabulous, fun, raucous sort of game, and you can play a lot of hands quickly.
Yeah. What was that
Yeah.
game? Say it again.
Fuji Flush. It's one
It's
of
a
the
it's a Freedom game.
Oh, it's a Friedman game.
Yeah.
Nothing heavier. Was it all just kind of light stuff?
Well, the Stone Age was probably the heaviest that day, but then I play that online a lot as well.
I always feel like I'm doing story problems when I do that. If I send 5 workers to get who can chop down 3 trees in 4 hours, how many trees could 8 workers chop down in 2 hours?
Is the starvation strategy still viable?
on occasion,
On occasion.
but
You don't wanna eat your gold, though.
little bit of food, but not a lot.
I need to play that again. I remember that Kubla Khan came out. I think I played that like the entire Kubla Khan.
The
But
iPad.
no other games
app is really
besides Stone Age.
It was totally ahead of its time.
Seth was like, how can you play the same game over and over? I'm like, I want to explore it. I want to see all the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Seth was like, oh, shaking.
I do the same thing with Castles of Burgundy, because you've got so many different ways you can go, and it's sort of, well, if they're going for all of the buildings, I'm going to go for the farm animals or something like that. You can sort of switch it up,
Yeah.
and still have a viable path to win.
I haven't played that in a long time.
Yeah, I was thinking about
It's
that
one
the
of
other
the
day.
easy. It's one of the easy ones on Yakata or to
Is
play.
it Yakata or is it Yukata? I always thought it was Yukata.
I always thought it was Yakata, but
I say Yukata,
either way.
like the Yucatan,
Like,
Yeah.
that's what I thought it was too. Yukata.
but it's a German website, so.
Go figure.
The Germans.
Anyway, good night, all. Good seeing you, Scott.
Good night,
Say
Kevin.
hi to Michelle for me.
Yeah, we'll do. I will.
All right. Bye.
I played Abyss for the first time on Board Game Arena.
Like,
Game's pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it.
like what we're talking about? Like, are you talking about the Abyss that had like the 5 different covers,
Yes.
depending upon
Yes.
which one you got?
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Keith hated
I've
it.
always wanted to play that one.
Have you ever
can play
played
it
the?
on Board Game Arena in a half an hour? It's really great.
Did you ever play the physical copy, Scott?
No,
Yeah, it was a decent. The only problem I had were them pearls because they just roll everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
they give you cups, right?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you got individual cups.
Yeah, you got balls.
Yeah.
You don't have to hold pearls in the virtual version. You just tells you how many you have. I also played Troyes, Trois,
Wow.
which is an amazing game. I hadn't played that in 10
Twas in my
years.
top 10 of all time.
I haven't played in 10 years, and I'm like, why didn't I play this more? It's so good.
And then
think
the
I
same
played
designers
that
came out with that the game the black
Yeah, Angel,
Black Angel, which was good, but
but not the same. Not the same.
Twa was like
It's a masterpiece, right? I mean,
whenever I play Twa, I feel like I did like when I'm hitting a home run in slow pitch softball when the ball came in just at the perfect angle and I could just see I could see the bat hit it just flush. And like I remember my old high school baseball coach said, it's like you can tell you hit it a long ways when you don't even feel it leaving the bat. You know, and it's just like, and I remember like there were times like that when you'd hit, like whenever I played Twa, that's how it felt to me. It was just like, oh my gosh, this game is so good. This game is just so absolutely freaking amazing. I could play this all day long.
Yeah, it's interesting that Black
you
Angel
really feel
didn't
better, like-
copy Twa enough.
I just don't think you can do it. I did a video today. I got into a ranty mood. I did a video today. I'm gonna make it live tomorrow. Just that I said we're drowning in cardboard is how I put it, and just basically how it's just like there's so many games that are coming out now that like nobody plays the games they own anymore. Nobody, you know, it's like we all have mountains upon mountains upon mountains of games, and we never play them all anymore. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but like there are far too many of us that just have bookcases full of stuff.
Yeah, but how many of those people are industry people, and how many of them are like just regular?
Dude, I know tons of. I mean, like all the big board game players that are in my world that like don't come to my house to play board games. Like I remember like one of my friends, oldest board game friends ever. This guy named Chad. He bought a house with his wife. They finally bought a house. They were like, once we're both out of school, because they both went, and his wife got a doctorate and he got his master's, and once they both got out of school, they said they were gonna, and they have a son. They said we are gonna get a house, and so they finally bought a house, and he was so overjoyed because he finally he went to a storage locker and got all of his games because he had so much stuff. He had a 3-bedroom apartment, and he's got over 2,500 games. You know, I mean, It's just, and he had a storage locker to keep them. He would like cycle through them. I mean, and that is not an uncommon story. I got a guy named.
That's the 1% of the 1% almost.
I don't think so, dude. I mean, seriously, but here's the deal. I don't care if
I
you
don't
have
think the
100
percentage
games.
is that low, but I don't think it's.
I don't care
high.
if you have 200 games. You're not playing all 200 of those games.
No, I mean, I have about 150, 200 maybe.
And you're not playing those.
No.
You're not playing those. They never hit the table. Why do you own them? Get rid of them. Throw them away. Donate them to a library. Donate them to a school.
I keep them for reference when I'm working on stuff.
No, you don't.
Oh, that's serious.
Sure I do.
Sure you do. What?
I buy games for. I bought photosynthesis just to figure out how they did the trees.
Okay. To make a 2 cardboard cutouts fit together.
Well, yeah, because they do a curve to the one of the thing, the channels.
Lance, he needs the write-ups. Come on, let him.
Well, I mean, that's.
Let them do it.
But you bring up a point. I hadn't played TWA since it came out,
Yeah.
and I'm like, holy shit! Why
No,
did
it's
I
a
not
valid
play this
point.
20,000 more
I'm
times
not that big.
in the
Like,
last
it's-
10 years or 15 years or whatever it's been?
No,
Yeah.
so like my daughter wanted to like she found my old aquarium in the garage. Like, and I used to have a ton of big giant aquariums, and I sold
Like
them all.
with fish?
Yeah. So I sold them all except for this one smaller one that I kept, that I put up in the one apartment my wife and I got together. You know, like we lived in an apartment for 1 year before we bought a house, and when we had our daughter, and so excuse me. Like I had this one, and so she found that I had put it up in the rafters, and she like, "Is that an aquarium?" And I was like, "Yeah." I did. Like I still had all the stuff, and she's like, "I really want to put this together." So like we got it going. I'm waiting for the water to cycle on it so we can like start like, you know, put plants in it, and we can start putting fish in. And I used to be a huge aquarium guy. I mean, like I said, I had 3 giant aquariums in my 1-bedroom apartment. I mean, it was just I love keeping them. I like the noise, I like the smell, I like the sound, I like, you know, it's just everything about it, right? And but I was always like this, you know, I was just you know, I didn't make a lot of money back then. And but now it's like I'm sitting there and I'm like, so I've been diving back into the aquarium hobby, and I'm seeing all the things that have changed in like the last 15 years. And like now I can afford a really good setup. And now I'm just like, screw this. I'm getting rid of like some of these bookshelves, and I'm going to get a big aquarium setup. I'm going to do it
Cool.
behind me, I think. Behind me.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I
it's just,
I mean, almost all of us here make our life about board games. Don't tell people to stop buying.
Well, no,
Yeah,
but see, and that's what I said. That's what I said in my thing. I said I feel a little weird talking about this because I board game hobby is what I work in, right? I feel weird about that.
Yeah.
And I actually said something, and I said here, and I in the video, you can check it out tomorrow. Under board game musings, it'll be under. But I actually said, and I started off with this idea of what I was going to say, and then I just started ranting, and I decided, whatever, I'm not going to edit this out. I'm just going to leave it.
I get, is the rant about like not playing?
It's anger at my own self for how stupid I am about the games that I own.
It's your monkey brain, it's your lizard brain. That's basically
So
triggered
it's like,
by the endorphins of buying games.
I can't get rid of Kingsburg. I really like Kingsburg. When's the last time you fucking played Kingsburg? You idiot.
Yeah. If you're like that, you'll own 10 games at a time.
Yeah. And it's just like, and I said,
one
how
in,
many
one
times?
out.
No, and it's just, and it talks about how we transition from, and we've talked about this before. I'm beating that horse a little bit, but how we transition from, that game looks super cool, I need to buy that game, and then you get it, and then you're like, I'm gonna play this sometime soon, and then you don't play it, and then 2 weeks go by, and then 3 weeks go by, and then 4 weeks go by, and all of a sudden there's another game that you see, and like you're like, that game looks really cool, I'm going to play that game. Did you get your oath? Yeah, well, no, I got my oath. I've had my oath for a while. I backed on Kickstarter, and I played that, and I really like it. I dig it. But I mean, that's a game that actually got played. But here's the deal. It's like, there are games in my selection, like I said, there's like 100 games that like I theoretically will tell myself that I want to keep. And because they're either games that I never will be able to replace if I get rid of them. Like Camp Grizzly. That's never getting reprinted. So I'm going to hold on to Camp Grizzly. And I'm not, even though I'll probably never, I don't see myself playing it again anytime soon.
You need to Marie Kondo your shit.
You need to Marie Kondo your shit. Look at all the crap.
Well, I'm like you said,
there, son.
Oh yeah, no, believe me, I have too much shit.
So, but my complaint is this also, is that we've totally, so back in the day, and I actually, this is something I touched on, and I'm kind of giving you a preview, and you'll be able to check it out tomorrow on my channel. But the thing is that it used to be back in the day, it was like, everybody was like, man, you got to get Agricola. It's going to be the new biggest thing, right? And we all went out and we got Agricola. And that was the new biggest thing. And we all owned it. We put it on our shelf. But now it's like, oh, the new biggest thing is this thing on Kickstarter. And it comes in 17 fucking boxes that you can't put it all into the one box. And it's just like, I have 27 Cthulhu Wars boxes. And there's no way. I'd have to buy like a steamer trunk to put it in. If I wanted,
I'd buy that.
If I wanted,
I don't know. I mean,
put it all together,
I see what
right?
you're saying, but like,
But but that's where we've gotten now with
why get to the
crowdfunding. With crowdfunding, and we no longer get like, I mean, even a straight euro like Merchant's Cove. It's like, oh, you got Merchant's Cove. Here's your 7 boxes of Merchant's Cove. This is a freaking euro. The Anachrony box is like, you know, it's fucking immense.
I think that the time that it takes to make games now, you really got to make systems. Unless it's like a quick, I want to say filler game, but like something that like doesn't, take 2 years to develop and make, right? Like create a system game where you can expand it and blow it up. I mean, that's what I would do if I was running a company.
It's just, and then these companies, they don't care.
Unless I found a Trois.
Because our little, as you say, our monkey brains tell us that we need to own that shit, right? And we like want to buy it or whatever.
That's standard.
And then it's like, and so we're like, oh, well, I need to get. I mean, I bought Unfathomable. I went to Asmodee. I said, here's my $80. I want this game. And when I get that, I will get it. I will get it played probably within a day of owning that game. I will invite I've told people. I mean, I will get at least 3 people over to my house and we will play that and we will test it out because I desperately want to play that game. But I haven't felt that way about a game in forever. And I realize once again, I'm the 1%, right? It's like I live in a different
How many
world
games do you own, Lance?
You got your collection up to date on BGG?
No.
Come on.
No,
and how do you time? How do you not buy what you already own?
I mean, I don't know. It's like I'm guessing between 1,000 and 1,500. I'm guessing 1,250.
He probably has like 2,000.
No, so and I even mentioned this, and I said I'm gonna say, and I say something loud. I'm gonna say, I said I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna make a lot of you cry. I said I had a situation where somebody was willing to come over and spend a week one early fall with me, and go through my games, and basically and he's like a project guy. He loves doing projects. He's a good friend too, and he's independently wealthy. And he came over, and he was like. And so he brought over and he set up 2 giant tables in my garage, and he said, just start going through the games. And if you don't think you want it, put it on the box. If it's a maybe, put it over here. And he said, I'll start processing everything and get it out in your garage. And so between the 2 of us, we took like 4 days, and I got probably 1,500 games out in my garage that I just said, I don't want these anymore. I'm never going to play these. I don't want them anymore. And he came back one day and he had a trailer and a pickup, and he came back and he said, I'll give you $3,000 for 1,500 games. And I said, done, take them. And he went and he's just been selling them on eBay, kept some of them. But I mean, I said, I'm going to tell that to people, and you would be like, no, I wanted to go through those. I would have given you $5 for this. I basically gave him, $2 a game. But when he drove away, I felt just relief. I was just like, yes.
Well, and you got, you saved all that time too of trying to sell them. That would have taken you forever to sell all of them.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just, but like I said, I know there's tons of people that are like, I'll come over and go through your thing. I even said in the thing, I said, if you live near me, you want to come over my house and start going through my stuff and saying, I'll give you something for this. Like, I'll come on over. Come on over. Start going through. I mean, I'll sell you though.
That's next time I'm in Fargo, Lance.
I will bring a trailer.
February.
Bring a trailer, son. We'll make it happen. And I just because like I said, like I have Calyx shelves I bought on sale in IKEA that I can't put together until I can get this shit out of here. And and I look at it and it just makes me mad. I just like, why do I have this stuff? And then I just forget about it for a while, It's like Seventh Continent. I love Seventh Continent, but I'm never going to play it again. Give it to somebody else. Let them explore the mystery. Let them have the fun.
If you ever want to ship it to Dallas, I will gladly put it in our flea market and give you. Well, I like to do it for charity though.
But ship it. That costs money and time.
I'd pay it.
But I still gotta get it on a pallet. I still gotta like.
Yeah. We'd help you there.
No.
Then it goes to good cause.
It goes to a good cause. What's the cause?
Cafe Momentum.
Putting money in your wallet there, son.
No. Cafe Momentum. It's a restaurant. It's a restaurant workplace in Dallas that hires kids that are that have gone through the juvenile detention system,
That actually sounds
It is a
pretty
good
awesome.
cause,
and it's
yeah.
really
So-
really good. Believe me, I'm super happy to support them.
In a positive, in a positive note, on Father's Day, my family decided we were going to adopt a cat, and this is S'mores.
Yes. I love
S'mores.
This is S'mores.
Yeah.
He's also known as Senor Squeaks
Shitty McShitters.
and
Yeah.
Mr. Chirps. So,
Okay.
but no, he's a pretty good cat. I've had people tell me, "Oh, my cat's a dog cat," and I'm like, first of all, you're never gonna have a dog cat because dogs are way better than cats, and I'm not gonna get there. But I'll say this: he's the closest I've ever had anybody come to like an actual dog cat. He begs
Like
for
fetch?
food. He'll fetch. He begs for food. He when you
That
sit
makes
on
him a dog.
when you sit. Well, no, I mean, like,
Oh, when
I've
you're
never had
eating,
a
it's
cat-
just sitting there like waiting for you to give it something.
Well, yeah, like when
Yeah.
you start like unpacking, like we came home, I came up, I got Chick-fil-A for everybody. I started unpacking them. He came running over, jumped up, and he just sat there, meow, 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 begging for food. Like he wanted chicken strips.
I don't know that that's the thing to brag about. That's like the worst part of dogs.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean,
Yeah.
My cat's got the worst part of the dog.
My dog shits in, my cat shits everywhere in the house, and he begs
Yeah.
for food.
my
and-
dogs do not have accidents. They are really good. They will hold it for days without going.
Poor dogs.
No, I don't. I
dogs.
don't let them. I don't make them.
I know.
But they will though. I mean, they are super good. They both had one accident each, and after that we were like, nope, you go outside. And after that, we have a little bell on the patio door, and they ring the bell. Then you hear a little jing jing. That means they want to go outside. So you just go over and you open the door, and they run out, do their business, and then come back in.
Do you have any pets, Scott?
No.
I think you do.
Michelle's very allergic to every animal.
Oh, is she?
I don't think we don't
Except
want
except for you, right?
the human animal.
You
She's not allergic
animal.
to the human animal.
You can get her
Luckily.
a monkey. You can get her a little small chimpanzee. Not chimpanzees.
I don't think I would want
The
one.
outbreak monkey.
I had a dog when I was growing up.
Hey KK, I'd like the record to show I got no Chick-fil-A because I don't like them.
No, chim-
What else do we do on the show? Are we playing initials or doing trivia or anything?
Well, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. I was hoping. Every time Forrest is here, I want him to go back into the box. Let's put Grant in the box. We haven't put Grant. Or does somebody else want to go? We can.
I'll do it if nobody else is.
Does anybody want to go in the box?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, Scott's going in the box.
Box me.
All right, here we go. Here we go. These are Scott's muted. We'll wait for him. Here are the 10 questions. We're gonna. If everybody doesn't know, you know what we're talking about. We're putting people in the box. So I'm gonna ask 10 questions. Everybody else is gonna guess how many of those questions that they're gonna get correct. That would be the Scott. How many questions Scott's gonna get correct? Question number 1: what city is home to Europe's tallest building? Europe's tallest building. Any guesses from the
City?
Yeah, what city is home to Europe's tallest building?
Paris?
Incorrect. It is Moscow. It's the St. Petersburg Chapel spire thing.
Really?
I thought the Eiffel Tower was big.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, that's what everybody's gonna guess. So that's probably one he's gonna get
Nah,
wrong.
he
right?
might get that right.
Yeah, who knows? All right, here we go. What religion was founded by Joseph Smith?
Mormons.
Mormons. Granted, you're muted, buddy. Just so you know. If you're
Oops.
talking.
Yeah.
I think he'll know that.
All right. How many rooms are on the game board of Clue?
11.
How many rooms are on the game board of Clue?
Oh, jeez.
No, 8.
It's 9.
No.
9. There's the one in the middle. The like it's like the ballroom. So
I
people
don't think
forget,
I
but
get that one.
there are 9 of them. How in the world of like science, how many dimensions does a solid have? That's right. Each solid has 3.
Three,
You are
yeah.
correct. 3. And now let's go to crazy math. How many meters are in a metric mile?
Thousand.
How many meters are in a metric?
No, it's a kilometer. Metric mile.
A metric mile.
Oh, jeez.
I've never even
1,500.
heard that term before.
1,500. Like it's there's like people reference a metric mile or a metric ton sometimes. Metric mile is a little more esoteric, but there.
Yeah,
A metric ton is 1,000 kilograms, is it not?
I believe it isn't, but I could be wrong.
I don't
It doesn't
remember.
matter.
I used to know.
The metric mile is 1,500 meters.
Never heard that.
What bird has a 46-foot long small intestine?
40.
46.
What bird?
I'm going to say it's going to be a
An
big
ostrich?
Ostrich is correct there, buddy. Yes, an ostrich.
one. I think I'll logic his way with that one.
Okay. Name the actor who played the Corleone family lawyer in The Godfather.
Never saw it.
The lawyer.
What? Na, 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 na,
Haven't.
na, na, na.
It's on my to-do list.
I'm gonna make it on
That-
camera.
Who was that? Was that Robert Duvall?
It was Robert Duvall. Very good.
He was the lawyer. Oh yeah, at the end, yeah.
No, he was the
Conciliary.
conciliary. He was
I
the
thought
one
the
who-
old dude was the lawyer.
No. They sent him off to be the lawyer. He was Thomas Hagen, and he palled around with Sonny Corleone. And he has
I thought
one
he
of
was
my
that
favorite lines in the movie where he goes to go make the guy the offer he can't refuse it before they cut the head off the horse, and the guy says, yeah, you tell all your Dago Wop friends that I won't be muscled. He's like, actually, sir, I'm German Irish. He goes, well, let me tell you, my Kraut Mick friend. Just a real winner of that guy. But anyway, here we go. In the world of audio, what is a woofer?
It's a speaker?
It's
a booster.
Does the
Bass
bass.
speaker?
That's right. It is the low frequency speaker or bass speaker.
Yeah. Hold
All
on.
right. What animal is also known as the poor man's goat? Poor man's cow. I just gave it away. Poor man's cow.
Yeah.
It's the goat. Sorry. Poor man's cow is the goat.
I don't think so.
And the final question, number 10, is a little geography for you. Alaska and Hawaii were the 49th and 50th states. What was the 48th?
Oklahoma.
Utah?
Oh, Arizona.
Arizona. Very
Arizona,
good,
yeah.
Grant. Look at that. Pulled it out. There you go. Well done. So, okay, Barry, lock in your number. How many do you think he's going to get right?
7.
Ooh. Grant, what do you got for me?
I have him getting 7, but I always go one less than I think someone will get. So I'm going to say 6.
6. And then Matthew?
5 for me.
5. Okay. Matthew thinks Scott's done.
I'm not doubting him. I'm just gonna pick a number that hasn't been chosen.
Master Dick of the day.
All right, Scooter.
I'm gonna $1 prices right it.
All right, Scooter. You got your thinking cap on?
Yep, ready to roll.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What city is home to Europe's tallest building? What city is home to Europe's tallest
Building. I don't know. God, it's probably some church. No. Europe. Is Europe, right? You said?
Yes, Europe's tallest building, sir.
What city?
What
God,
city?
dang, that's super hard. Although when you say it, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, of course.
We all had you getting this one wrong, so you don't have to like.
I don't want.
feel any
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah, I mean, this is so
You'll be
random. I mean,
expected
but
to
here's
get
the stupid thing.
wrong.
I feel like it is a church, and it's probably in Germany. And I'm gonna say, oh gosh, I need to. I'll say Berlin. I know that's wrong.
Final answer.
Let me think. Berlin, Germany. Final answer.
It's Moscow, but you're on the right path. It's the church.
Moscow's in Europe?
St. Petersburg Church.
Is that called Europe?
Yeah.
No.
Russia is in Europe. Okay.
Yes.
Russia is the.
Is it a
only
European
country?
country?
Both. It is
Really?
considered both.
I always thought it was like an Asian country. Yeah, that's. I wouldn't even have considered it.
Because it's big. Anyway, yes, Moscow
Obviously.
is correct answer.
St. Petersburg is the biggest country or biggest building in Europe.
Yep.
Oh.
The big spire thing.
Yeah, sure.
All right. What religion was founded by Joseph Smith?
Church of the Latter-day Saints. Final answer.
Correct.
Mormonism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll accept.
Come on,
I'll
they're the
accept.
same.
Yeah, I
It is the
gotcha. I
same.
gotcha. We got.
I mean,
we got you
technically,
covered.
the Church of Latter-day Saints is the better answer.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's what the official name of the church,
Yeah.
not Mormon.
Right. Well, I'll accept it.
No, thanks.
Okay, so you're on the board. You're on the board.
Got one. I beat
How
Alex.
many rooms are on a Clue game board? How many rooms are on the
9. Final answer.
9? Final answer is correct. Ding 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 ding.
Played a
This
lot of
is-
Clue
somebody
there,
said
Scott.
But that was
Loftus
instinctive.
Center in St. Petersburg is taller. Game under protest. Shut up.
Did Kabuki game fact check you?
The fine folks at Trivial Pursuit would not lie to me. So, whatever.
I feel like there's some church in Germany that's massively huge.
I feel like you got 2 right and 1 wrong.
As of 1987, what is the largest?
Yeah, it may be a little outdated.
Everybody's got whatever. Who cares?
What
It doesn't matter. He guessed Berlin.
Yeah, I guess Berlin. I wasn't even close.
Okay, here we go.
Moving on.
How many dimensions does a solid have?
3. Final answer.
Ding 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 ding. Correct. That
It's
is
almost like a trick question.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like it's okay.
all right. Number 5. Almost halfway there. How many meters are in a metric mile?
I have no idea. I guess if you say 5,280 divided by 3, whatever that is. Can I use a calculator?
You don't have a brain to figure that out?
I can't do the math.
So you won.
Well, let me just do the math. Let me just do it real quick and I'll be done. I
3
won't drag
goes
it out.
into 5 once. So then you have 22 left. Then it goes into 7.
1,760.
It's not fair. You have kids that are in that age right now, Lance.
Oh, I've always had a really good head for math.
1,760 meters. Final answer.
You'd be wrong. It's 1,500. 1,500.
It's a running term, apparently.
A metric mile.
It's like it's a middle.
It's
distance
so dumb
for-
because
for
it's
a-
not even a mile.
for a run. It's like 1,500
No,
k.
it's a metric mile.
It's more than a mile. I get it. Whatever. Why is it called metric mile though?
I don't know. Look it up after we're done.
Okay.
Okay. What bird has a 46-foot long small intestine?
46 feet long.
What bird has a 46-foot long small intestine?
It's gonna be a big bird.
These Big Bird, Sesame Street. Final answer.
A rock.
Yeah. I don't. The pelican keeps popping into my head, so I'll just say pelican. Final answer.
Ostrich. An
I
ostrich.
should have thought about it longer.
An ostrich. Tough Tough question.
Mhm.
Tough one. Most of them had you getting that one. They
Really?
They thought you
It
It
logicked
didn't
your
even
way
pop
through
into
the-
my head at
I
all.
thought you would, when you said it has to be a big bird. I was like, he's on the right.
But yeah, for some reason,
Then you
ostrich
said
doesn't.
pelican. I'm like, pelican.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
the fuck is a pelican?
They're pretty big.
Yeah, depending
I
on.
see they're not that.
Scare the shit out of you.
I was
Yeah.
I was at my dad's lake and I saw a pelican gobble up a frog. I was like, oh, that poor frog.
You didn't feel a thing.
Just wasn't his day.
Yeah. Circle of life. Moving on.
Anyway, what actor played the Corleone family lawyer in The Godfather?
Robert Duvall. Final answer.
Ding, 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 ding. You are correct, sir. Robert Duvall.
4.
That is 4, sir.
I've gotten 4 right.
Yes.
Yep, 4 out of 7.
Okay.
Question number 8. In the world of audio, what is a woofer?
How specific do I need to be? It's a large speaker that creates bass. Final answer.
I will accept that. It is
Okay.
a bass speaker or a low frequency speaker. Yes,
There we go.
I will accept both. So correct. All right. This is sweat.
5.
This is a sweat.
No,
This is
it's
sweat. No matter what you answer next, it's going to be a sweat.
I'm
no
at
matter
5
what.
of 7 right now, or no, 5 of 8.
Yeah. So question number
5
9.
of 8.
What animal is called the poor man's cow? What animal?
Creates milk, maybe. Goat. Goats probably are cheaper. What else could it be? Sheep? No. Goat. Final answer.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
We didn't
It is-
think you were
like I
gonna get
said,
that
it
one.
is still a sweat. This is still a sweat here. Final question. We all know that Alaska and Hawaii were the 49th and 50th states admitted into this grand union.
Did we know that?
What was the 48th?
48th? Fuck. New Mexico? Final answer? Ah,
You were on the right path. It's
Yeah.
Arizona. So we
You're
had
close.
Barry guessed 7, Matt guessed 5, but Grant sat at 6, and Grant
Boom.
wins again.
nice going, Durant.
Well, I think my logic holds pretty quick. It's been pretty. It's served me well. I always go through and then I subtract 1 from what I think you're actually going to get. So I had you getting 7.
7 and
but
yeah, I should have got
always-
that ostrich one. Even I said it out loud too.
with the pressure of being on the spot. You know, there's. I feel
I
like
didn't want to pull a Keith Bloom and sit here for half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh,
My goodness.
Oh, so mean to
Poor
Keith.
it's funny,
Oh,
Grant.
yeah.
I usually use the same logic, but it depends on the person.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
There's always like one like they won't get probably.
I like Keith. Keith's a good
You know,
guy.
it's.
Oh, I know. I'm just messing with him. But that was a long trivia night.
That was a long trivia night. He definitely was.
It was
you know,
painful for him.
If it wasn't, I try to keep my better nature, but I mean, man, if I didn't know Keith to be the stand-up guy that he is, I would definitely have been like, "Are you googling this stuff?" Just
Gator,
like,
Dave, Gator Dave says New Mexico was in January 1921 and Arizona was in February 1912. So am I
No.
right?
no,
Mexico
Gator Dave is being a turd.
Mexico was January 6th, 1912.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Gator Dave, you're off the team.
Off the team.
You want to hear
Yeah,
something?
the metric
crazy?
miles
So
question's dumb because
So
I can't even logic that.
my
It's just it's a trivia question that you either know it or you don't.
Yeah, you either
Yeah.
know it or you don't.
my dad's dad was older when he had my dad, and my dad was a little bit older when he had me. So my grandfather was born in Oklahoma Territory before
Wow.
it became a
Wow.
state. Isn't that
Yes.
crazy?
It is. Wasn't
My
there another?
grandfather.
Wasn't
right
there
there.
another comic whose grandfather fought in the Civil War?
Oh wow, cool! You got a whole thing.
Yep, that's my grandfather and the letter he sent home from World War One.
Wow,
One.
that's amazing.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Or was he in Germany or France?
No, he was in France.
France.
I wish I
so
had
this
an
is
artifact
this is
from
one
my.
of those weird stats that's like just right along your vernacular there with your dad's dad kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Our 17th president, President John Tyler, was born in
No, he's the 10th
1790.
president. He's the
What?
10th president.
I just looked this up and it said 17th.
John
So,
Tyler is the 10th president. I can absolutely 100%.
Brand
tell
knows
you.
his presence.
I know everything. I know super a lot about history. You're going to tell me the fact that one of his grandchildren is still alive.
I'm looking at Wikipedia and it says Tyler was the 17th president of the College William and Mary. Never mind.
I can absolutely 100% tell you he's the 10th president.
He's about to give you a smackdown.
Anyway,
Yeah,
he
was-
was President John Tyler was born in 1790. He has 2 living grandsons that are alive today.
His grandson, one of his grandsons died a few months ago, so he has one living grandson.
All right,
Yeah.
but still, there's somebody like that's how far.
Yes. So John Tyler had a son at the age of 63. That son had 2 sons at the age of 72 and 75.
Wow.
The one that
Attaboy.
he had at 75 was born in 1928 and is still alive.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So that means 3 generations spanning 4 centuries
Yeah.
we have. If you want to think about it another way, the Constitution of the United States was ratified in 1789. John Tyler was born the year after the Constitution was ratified. And you could also say it this way. There is somebody you can talk to right now whose father remembers the Civil War.
Yeah.
You know?
But their father probably isn't alive.
Yeah.
No, his father's not alive, but it's just crazy that you can talk to a guy right now whose father told them firsthand about the Civil War.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that is nuts.
Crazy.
You know,
Hey, Peter.
John Tyler, one of my other favorite pieces of trivia about John Tyler. I can get real into presidential trivia. I'm super into this sort of stuff. So here's a fun one.
But you're good at pub trivia.
I am good at pub trivia. But John Tyler was, he was our first vice president to become president. He was William Henry Harrison's vice president. William Henry Harrison, famously the shortest president in terms of.
I died in 30 days.
Yeah.
Was that where he didn't wear a coat in the cold?
He didn't wear a coat to his inauguration, gave a speech, and came down with the flu and died.
And he gave like an hour-long speech or something like that.
Bitter
like
cold.
But there's nothing at the time. There was nothing in the Constitution that said the vice president became the president. The Constitution says the vice president performs the duties of the president, but it doesn't actually say that they become president. Now, later, we passed an amendment that said, yes, they are president. But so when William Henry Harrison died, John Tyler was like, I'm president now. And everybody was like, whoa, hold on. And he was like, nope, I'm president. And everybody was like, let's talk about this. And he was like, fuck you guys, I'm president. And he just started being president. And he was part of the Whig Party. There were 2 major parties at the time. There was one called the Democratic Republicans, and the other one was called the Whigs. And John Tyler, as the Whigs were in power in Congress at the time, and he was a member of their party, and he just started vetoing shit that the Whig Party was doing. And they were like, what are you doing, dude? You're in our party. Why are you vetoing the laws that we're passing? And he was like, I don't care. I don't like them. I don't care. I don't like them. And the Whigs kicked him out of their party while he was president and said, we don't want you in this party anymore. And then he went over to the Democrats and he was like, huh? You guys want me? I'm a free agent now. And the Democrats were like, no, we don't want you either. We don't We don't like you either. And so he became known as the president without a party. That was his nickname, the president without a party. In the last 2 weeks that he was in office, he threw one of the most extravagant soirees the White House has ever seen. He spent $200,000 of 1844 money. In 1844 money, he spent $200,000. And when people asked him why he did it, he was like, "Now you can't call me the president without a party." Boom. Mic drop.
200,000.
It's so amazing. I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
That's cool, Grant. That's an awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's a funny story.
Yeah.
Come on. John
like
Tyler, also only president to join the Confederacy, so not great.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You win some, you lose.
By the way, that's a $6.18 million
Yeah.
today.
Wow. I didn't think it would be that much. I knew it was up there.
Awesome. That was a hell of a party.
Yeah.
Yes.
$6
I've
million.
actually been to a $1 million party, and I don't know how to imagine a $6 million party.
What happens at a $1
neither
million
can I.
party?
You fly in elephants and monkeys and leopards and
Oh, it's like a circus, like a zoo.
yeah, it was for Tarzan. Disney threw a wrap party for the crew, and I was part of the committee that had to do graphic design and signage for said party that was $1 million.
The animated movie, or
the animated movie.
Okay,
that's how much they were rolling in it at the time.
$1 million in the 90s?
Oh, for Disney, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's like a rounding error.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear some other presidential trivia? I'm hijacking Lance's show.
Tell us
Well,
about
we'll
Teddy
be
Roosevelt.
doing initials here in just a little bit. So go ahead, give us your idea.
Hey, Lance, do you know that there's only one president that didn't speak English as a first language?
You just told me.
Anybody want to guess who didn't speak English as a first language? Close.
Van Buren.
Correct. Martin
Really?
Van Buren spoke Pennsylvania Dutch.
Dutch. I had to think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was the last president born a British citizen?
Oh, I know this one. Give me a minute.
Awful at trivia. And initials. I should just log off now.
Jackson? No, it wasn't Jackson.
William Henry Harrison, our
Harrison.
ninth president, was born.
Harrison.
Do you know we have only one president who has picked up arms in defense of the country while president? Anybody want to guess who that is?
Teddy
Adams.
Roosevelt.
What's that?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Nope. He was
Adams.
not president when he picked up arms.
Adams.
James Madison. During the War of 1812, James Madison grabbed a couple of pistols and went out to the front lines and started shooting.
Have you seen Hamilton?
Oh Lord.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Was
Yeah.
out there.
He also made some pretty good cupcakes. Oh no, that was Dolly Madison.
James
Dolly.
Madison also,
Oh man.
James Madison also our shortest president. He was like 5'2".
Was he?
Just a little guy. Yeah,
My wife is 5'2".
Yeah, even back then that was short.
Yeah. We have one president who has served in the Senate after being president. We have one president who has served in the House of Representatives after being president. And we have one president who has served on the Supreme Court after being president. Oh, seems like a real downgrade, but yeah.
Maybe it does, but actually it'd be kind of cool to walk around and be like,
Yeah.
I had that other job. I'm just doing it. Yeah.
John Quincy Adams was in the House of Representatives after being president. Andrew Johnson was in the Senate after being president. And William Howard Taft was on the Supreme Court.
I didn't know about Taft. I knew the other two. I just couldn't remember which one was which.
Yeah.
We
I mean, I can stop it. I can keep you guys can tell me to shut up.
Speciality. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was it? Did we have the question
The
like
font.
who was the president that was married while in office? Was that on the show?
Who was married while in
Who got
office?
is the only president that got married while in office?
Was it Woodrow Wilson?
Maybe.
No,
What did I say? Oh no, that was a Jeopardy question last week. Pretty
I
sure.
can't think of who it was.
I don't-
It might
I
have
think he might have been.
might have been John Tyler. His wife died.
Tyler.
His wife died
Yeah.
while he was president.
Let me Google it.
I'm trying to remember. I know Buchanan was the only bachelor.
Yeah.
Oh, married in the White House.
Oh, not married while in the White
Yeah,
House.
no,
Married
it was,
actually in the White House. Oh, then that maybe.
Grover Cleveland.
Okay.
That's the youngest. Hold on.
Yeah, Grover Cleveland married like a 21-year-old.
James Buchanan. No, that's not right either. Why am I getting not the correct answers?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know the
Google
internet
has
is
failed
so
me.
sophisticated now that you get really frustrated when you get bad search results.
Yeah.
You're like, come
Yeah.
on. I know it's out there. And now I'm getting this crap.
You
It
just
is
need to
Grover
say it
Cleveland.
out loud and then go on Facebook and it'll tell you.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he was the
target
Bachelor.
What's that?
Wasn't Grover Cleveland the Bachelor?
It was Grover Cleveland got married in the White House.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
And one of the trick questions is, do people know? Joe Biden is the 46th president. How many presidents have we had?
Like
87.
92.
No,
No.
it's a trick
It's
question
low. Yeah.
because of Grover Cleveland. Joe Biden is the 45th president because Grover Cleveland gets
Non-consecutive terms.
not consecutive. So Grover Cleveland is
That's
counted
two
as
numbered.
both the 22nd and the 24th president.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that nobody else has done that.
Usually, well, in modern politics, they just try to get all their shit done in the last term. So they want it back to back. Yeah. There was very few who did that. Wasn't Roosevelt one? Or no, he tried and then he failed.
Yeah, Roosevelt is one of the most successful third-party candidates. So he endorsed Taft, and then he did not like Taft as a president, and so he ran against Taft when Taft was running for president again. He formed a third party called the Bull Moose Party.
Yeah.
And ran and did fairly well, but didn't win. Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't had too many who took.
Somebody tried to
one term
shoot
and then
him.
Not.
Somebody tried to shoot him during giving a speech at the Bull Moose Party, and the
He
bullet got
shot.
lodged.
They didn't
He
try
got
to shoot him.
shot.
He got shot.
But the bullet got lodged in like his notes or something. I forget what the exact thing is. And
no, it got lodged in his chest.
Yeah, it's in
well,
her
no,
cage.
but it slowed down because
Yes,
went
it
through-
slowed down. Yeah.
It slowed down because like I've heard that it like basically the end of it was still sticking out of like the speech he wrote or something, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he actually said, "It is by divine providence that I am supposed to lead this nation." Just
Wow.
maybe it may be apocryphal, but that's what I've heard.
All right, let's do it.
Oh yeah, here we go.
His initials.
Peter, you remember initials, right?
I remember it. I'm no good at
Fondly.
it. but we'll do.
And then we can have some Schadenfreude. I promise you. After we're done.
Oh no, we don't need any of that.
No, well then I will just bring something up that happens to be something. We'll go from there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So remember your name is your buzzer. It's backwards. So I don't know why I hold this up, but it's HS. HS.
Not backwards.
HS.
It's backwards for me, I guess. I don't know.
Mm.
HS. Here we go. They're going to play in chat, so don't read chat. Clue number 1. Often found in schools. Variations.
This is not
include-
the answer, but it would be really funny if that was homeschooling.
Variations include smooth, small eye, great, and Carolina. Number 3. Not a common candidate for captivity. Number 4. No human fatalities have been recorded.
Matt,
Matt.
house spider.
Clue number 5. Their teeth are commonly found as fossils. Final clue. This animal is named and are known for their unique skull structures. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hammerhead shark. Hammerhead
course.
shark.
I was thinking.
I was thinking of all kinds of sharks. Could not get it.
Hammerhead shark.
could I not get that?
Rough start.
I
start.
swam.
Yeah.
A
First
hammerhead
little-
shark swam under me in the Bahamas.
Okay.
I never swam so fast.
It's amazing how they can throw schools at you and then to just your brain
Just messes
goes.
you up.
Yeah,
Hammerhead shark are known for swimming in schools. There's like there's a school migration that they film every year. It's amazing. You can find it on the YouTubes and stuff.
I was actually
By the way,
hammerhead was 2 words.
this is the initials game. As I say every single year, this is the initials game. It was started by my friend Corey Cove at KFan, the radio station, the #1 rated sports radio station in the nation. You can pick up your own copy of this at initialsgame.com. All right. Clue number 1. Connected to a ship. Number 2. Often carries a gun. Number 3. Accomplished pilot. Number 4. Usually seen wearing a vest. 5. Is not from Earth. Final clue. Was once frozen in carbonite.
Aldi.
Harry, go ahead.
Aldi was first.
Han Solo. How could I not get these earlier?
Han Solo or Han Solo. I'll accept both. Here we go.
Leah calls him Han all the time.
Yeah, whatever. Han, my Buki. That's what Jabba calls him. Anyway, clue number 1. Some variations are flammable. Number 2. Is most often clear. Commonly bottled. Commonly found in hospitals. Aldi.
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer is correct. Aldi running away with it.
Yeah.
Running away with it. He's 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
I was at my local gas station / convenience store or whatever, the Holiday station that's near my house, and I was walking out. They had like racks of hand sanitizer on clearance. Just like
Clearance? You couldn't
Yeah.
buy it.
We find toilet paper again?
Here we go. Clue number 1 has appeared on Saturday Night Live. Has been a part of a reality TV competition. Has appeared in a Christopher Nolan film. Has been romantically linked to a music superstar. Released Sign of the Times in 2017.
Grant.
Grant.
Harry Styles?
Harry Styles. I love
I
the
have
question mark
no
when
idea
when
who that is.
I love when people
Part of,
I love when people answer with the question mark. Is it this? You know.
The Saturday Night Live had me thinking down one track, and then I was trying to
Recovered.
validate other clues through
Yeah.
that one name in my head, and the
He's
rest
part
of
of
them
One
were
Direction.
right.
I don't know who that is.
Boomer.
All right, here we go. Clue number
Not
one.
quite.
I don't know who Harry Styles is either. So
I'm almost a millennial.
Mostly
I
a
listened to a
musician.
Harry Styles song today.
Mostly a musician, Barry.
There's a gap
But-
of music that I lost, like
a
10
British-
years.
if the music was made after 1990, I'm not listening to it. Anyway, here we go.
Yeah.
Clue number one was released in 1968. Is a rhyming phrase.
Matt,
Matt.
Helter Skelter.
Well done,
Well
Matthew.
done.
Wow.
Well
Wow.
done.
Well done.
Yes.
Impressive.
Includes the line, when I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. Well done, Matthew. Well done. Clue number one. Appeared in 1999's She's All That.
Ooh, I
Hmm.
used to love that movie.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
There it is.
Appeared in 1999's 10 Things I Hate About You.
Boy,
Appeared in 1995's Clueless.
Oh my gosh.
What is her name?
Appeared in 1985's The Breakfast Club.
I have a name, but I don't think it's right.
Appeared in 1999's American Pie.
Oh,
Final clue.
Aldi.
Aldi.
High school.
High School is correct.
Ah.
Yes.
I was going somewhere else with that.
damn.
Yeah, the final clue was appeared in 2004's Friday Night Lights.
Oh, they never really
Wow.
gave that.
I was
away.
thinking person the whole time.
Yeah, so
was
was I.
I'm like Helen Shaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I was like,
I'm waiting
Julia
for a
Stiles?
Supergirl reference. I'm like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, see, it had you leaning one way, and then they went the other. So here you go. Clue number one. Starting in 1997, worked at a diner and was a single parent. Clue number two. Had a connection to martial arts in the 1990s. Clue number three. Had an award-winning performance as Brandon Tina in a 1999 film.
Peter.
Peter.
Hillary Swank.
Hilary Swank is
Damn.
correct. Yes.
I was
That was
Had a kid.
That movie. Oh man, that was that's a
Mendo
movie
Leave, I think it was called.
Yeah,
Don't spoil it.
You can't go back and watch that again. That is a movie.
What are the other clues?
Her level of attractiveness was once debated on The Office. After winning an Academy Award, once said, "I'm just a girl from a trailer park that had a dream," and played Maggie Fitzgerald in a boxing film directed by Clint Eastwood. And that's also another rough
That might have
watch.
been the only thing.
That's
Yeah.
we went to go see that and like it blew my mind.
Oh, that was a rough watch. That was a
It
rough
was.
watch.
No spoilers, please.
Yeah.
Haven't
No
seen either one of
spoilers,
those
but
movies.
everybody should watch Boys Don't Cry now, especially anything. You should watch Boys Don't Cry, and you should
All right.
watch
Boys Don't
watch
Cry.
$1 Million Baby too.
Brokeback
And
Mountain.
Yeah.
$1 Million Baby is
Oh, $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby is the boxing one with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, it's really good.
Uh,
It's super good. But yeah, Boys Don't Cry. I think everybody should watch it. But it's yeah, we'll leave it at that. Here we go. Clue number one. Debuted in the 1960s. Number two. Nintendo released a. Whenever I hear Nintendo, I think Nintendo. Nintendo released a video game version of this in the 1980s. Number 3. Featured open-faced cubes. Number 4. Included bluffs and a panel.
Matt.
Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares is correct, sir. Yeah. Just
open-faced cubes. It's
there
great.
you go. Yeah, it was
Makes 100% sense now.
made Bruce Valanche a household name.
Bruce Valanche.
I'll take Bruce Valanche for the win, please.
Yes, I'll take. Well, Bruce Valanche is almost always the center square, like Paul Lind.
Charles
Paul
Nelson Riley was also on it big time.
Charles Nelson Riley was also a big center square
He
guy
was the
too.
match game guy, though.
Yeah, match.
And then I
Goldberg was
remember
big on it.
the most recent iteration. It was it wasn't Whoopi Goldberg usually the center square, like
The new
most
one,
recent- yeah, the newer ones. If you go back and you watch the clips of when Triumph the Triumph the dog was one of the
really?
squares, he has some has some good lines or whatever,
Never saw that version.
Yeah. And Bruce Valanche, and of course I reminded of this, but I remember going to see the movie Ice Pirates, and I thought it was amazing. And Bruce
Terrible
Valanche,
movie.
what terrible,
It's a terrible
movie?
I
Bite your
love that
tongue,
movie.
son.
Have you
That's a
watched?
great-
Did you watch the Red Letter Media?
Yes,
review?
I did. When I saw it, I was like, I told my wife, I said I need to go watch this because I'm just
Some
going
of
to
Robert
enjoy
Urich's
this.
best work.
That movie is
Oh.
terrible.
That movie,
Anyway, whatever.
I don't know.
You
if
can
we
argue
be
all that.
friends. Here we
That
go.
movie is not
So
good.
bad it's
You
good.
can't say that movie is good.
It is so bad it's good. The ninja robot at the end that gets they give him the special powers, and he's just
Or
going.
the time friggin' dilation or whatever. it is.
Oh yeah. It was so good. It was so good. What are you talking about? You're ridiculous, Aldi.
'Cause I have a few drinks.
I don't even know
You should watch
anymore.
that movie again and tell me.
I own it on DVD somewhere.
You like Crawl as well?
Crawl's amazing.
Let's crawl.
What?
Really?
Is that the alligator movie?
No,
No,
it's with
no. First Liam Neeson's first movie role.
Crawl?
Yeah.
Crawl.
I do not know.
Is that where they figured out he'd be great at getting angry and going after people?
That
Yeah.
came later in life.
That's later. Right?
I don't know, but yeah, that was Liam Neeson's first ever movie role.
Kind of like
That's
Zardoz.
weird though. Anyway, I'm gonna get sidetracked. I'm gonna start talking about all these great movies. So let's go here. Here we go. Clue number 1. Formed November 25th, 2002. Known for its colors. Its logo contains a bird. Found in Washington, D.C. Created in response to a national tragedy.
Grant.
Go
Homeland
ahead.
Security.
Homeland
Homeland
Security
Security.
is correct. Well done.
Wow,
Well done.
I see that badge every day too.
a bird.
Rookie Kid, nobody likes you. Yeah, Michelle's correcting me. Excuse me. He was in Excalibur, and that was before Crawl, so you're wrong.
Who was he in Excalibur?
He was a knight. I don't know.
Yeah, he was an Excalibur.
So there, Lance.
Yeah, just geez, don't you
He was
know
Gawain.
that the
Oh, was he?
last thing in St.
Oh,
Petersburg-
crawl. You're saying crawl, not crawl.
That's what I said.
Oh.
Crawl.
I
Said crawl. C-R-A-W-L.
No, I did not.
I heard
I-
crawl.
Yeah,
I-
Mr.
I-
Caruso.
Then
Crawl.
Get a new pair of ears.
Yes, I'm certain.
I heard Crawl too. So
Yeah.
we got 2 versus 2 here. So get
Well,
better.
I know what I said. So
If I have to get better ears, you got to get a better mouth.
Oh,
Must be
okay.
my Canadian accent.
You get a better mouth, sir.
Kabuki Kid said, Aldi, don't you worry. I heard crawl as well. Let me get this right here.
The gay lands were on the same wavelength. It's all good.
I know. It's just these people. Anyway, clue number 1 has been seen in film, TV, and video games. Number 2 has been a telemarketer, opera singer, mayoral candidate, ice cream truck driver, and more.
Grant.
Grant, go ahead.
Howard Stern.
And
Matt.
Matt, go ahead.
Homer Simpson.
Yo, you are correct.
Nice.
Has had his catchphrase added to the Oxford English Dictionary. Has 8 fingers.
I didn't know about the opera singer thing though.
Yeah, just oh, good. Everybody piling on. Barbarella.
Barb. It's Barb.
Yeah, it's Barb. I also heard crawl.
Well, Lance, the evidence stands as it is.
Yeah. Eyewitness testimony is the least reliable testimony.
Your witness
Back to tape.
testimony.
Your witness
Play back
testimony.
the tape.
Let's roll it back.
Yes.
You roll it back. You're so damn smart.
It's so funny, by the way, when people are saying like, they record something. I always want to say like I filmed. Like tape is just so gone, right? I taped it. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we got Aldi with 3, Matt with 3, Grant with 2, Peter with 1, Barry with.
That's
Well,
smart.
shit falling everywhere.
Goddamn cats.
Goddamn cat.
Just tearing around the house, losing their mind, and an 85-pound husky chasing after them. God. Anyway, we got 4 left.
Okay.
Here we go. Anybody's game. Barry, you could even pull off the win if you can get 4 in a row.
Bad letters for me, man.
Yeah, well.
These are harder letters.
Here we go. Clue number 1, originally from Africa. Can now be seen all over the world. Experienced dispersal soon after its emergence. Is Latin for wise man. They emerged roughly 300,000 years ago.
Peter. It's
Peter.
Homo sapiens.
It is Homo
Yeah.
sapiens. Very well
Is
done.
that where we're going with this?
I just had it.
One of my favorite Futurama moments is when Professor Farnsworth starts arguing with this gorilla, this gorilla professor that believes in intelligent design, and he's like, "There's no missing link between Homo erectus and Homo sapiens," and he's like, "Yeah, sure there is. It's this." And he goes, but there's no link between this and this." He's like, "Sure there is. There's this." And they keep going down the path, and it's like hours later after the crowd's left, and he's like, "But there's no connection between this and this." And it's like 80 of them. And he's like, "Well, I guess you're right. So therefore," he's like,
Have you ever heard? It was voted the greatest joke of all time. Do you know who Emo Phillips is?
"Oh yeah, totally."
Do you know his the joke that was voted the greatest joke?
Which one?
The one about church stuff.
Tell it. I just if I don't remember it, then maybe the others don't either. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's long. I'm willing to do it.
Do it after.
So
oh yeah, we got 3 left. Remember, we'll put a pin in that and we'll come back.
okay.
All right, here we go. Barry, you're out, mathematically eliminated. But everybody else is still in it. It's still in it. All right, here we go. Clue number 1 has appeared on BoJack Horseman, 30 Rock, Drunk History, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and more. Born outside the United States, but grew up around Chicago, Illinois.
Matt. Harry Shearer.
And Matt, you are out, but you're still standing strong with 3, so you could still pull off the win here. Clue number 3 had a film role connected to Billy Joel. Clue number 4 was a part of I Wish It Was Christmas Today.
Grant.
Horatio
Sands.
That's
one of my favorite. I wish it was Christmas today.
Who's that?
So that was the name when you said Saturday Night Live earlier. I had Horatio Sands on my brain, and it took me a while to get off of him to get to Harry Styles. That's why I was like, Harry Styles? Oh.
They're mentioning Judy Tenuta. If that's the one I'm thinking of, she like kind of lost her mind. Like, or maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. I'll find out. There was a older comedian that like now she's kind of flaked out a little bit. Anyway, we're
The reason
down.
why I thought it was Harry Shearer was because of Chicago and Second City and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Horatio Sands was also Chicago Second City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat. Oh no, it was Paula Poundstone that kind of went off the deep end.
Poundstone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she yeah. Google that. That's kind of sad. Anyway. Okay. Here we go. We got a 3-way tie for the lead. Peter is still in it. You could tie and then be a 4-way tie.
Sure.
I feel like I should text Peter the answer just so he can tie for 3.
Just the next one.
But it is Aldi 3, Grant 3, Matt 3, Peter 2. Barry, your microphone isn't working.
Pretty even.
Clue number 1, Peter. I'm gonna mute everybody else. I just need to text somebody. Hold on.
I read lips. No.
Clue number 1. Shoot. Hold on. Actually, okay. Clue number 1 has often been at odds with an independent agency of the United States government. Aldi.
Howard Stern.
Damn
Howard
it.
Stern.
Yeah,
Peter, where were you on this?
Close.
All right.
I mean, I was gonna shout it out because I figured it had to be coming, but
You should have done it from the first sentence.
Yeah.
First
Okay.
word.
All right, we got one left. Grant and Matt can tie. Peter can play spoiler. Well, I said Barry can play spoiler too. Aldi, if you get it, you win. Or if Peter gets it, you win. Or if
all right, great. I'll take 2
Barry
points
gets
for
it, you win.
All right, here we go.
Clue number 1 appeared in 2012. Clue number 2 was after Raphael, but before Tony. Clue number 3 was seen in the U.S., Bahamas, Cuba, and more. Clue number 4 included fatalities. Number 5 peaked as a category 3. Final clue. Did nearly $70 billion in damage as one of the deadliest and costliest storms in U.S. history. Grant. 5.
Hurricane.
4.
Yeah,
3,
exactly.
2. 1.
Samantha.
Damn.
And 5.
Aldi.
5.
Hurricanes.
3, 2.
Steve.
1. And Matt or Pete?
Matt.
5. Matt. 5.
Hurricane
3,
Oh,
2,
Barry.
1.
Who's it?
Stephanie.
And Barry.
Hurricane
Five.
Sandy. No.
There
Hurricane
you go.
Sandy
Sandy.
is
Oh, yes!
correct.
my mom's name. I should have known it.
Was it?
Me too,
I
my
didn't
mom's
think
name.
that was a hurricane, though. I thought that was just like a superstorm.
Son of a. See, second clue, I was like, it's a hurricane.
Hurricane Sandy is correct, giving Aldi the win.
The Raphael
Way to
and
go,
Tony
Barry.
one was a really curious clue, right?
Yeah, I went down the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle path, but
Right away, yeah.
Raphael. But
Forget
Tony
the
didn't make
painters.
sense.
So, what's Shredder's first name? Is it like
Harry.
Harry Shredder?
Good one.
Or is it Hiroko or something? Yeah. All right. It's 2
All
o'clock.
right.
I'm going to bed.
You want to hear this best joke before you leave?
I do.
Roll with it.
This is not my joke. This is Emo Phillips's joke. It was at one point voted the best joke. It got voted the best joke in like 2005, so it's a while.
You
ago.
like it?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I'm not going to do an impression of Emo Phillips.
Oh, okay.
All my money.
Have you
back.
ever heard him deliver jokes?
Yeah.
Once I saw this guy on a bridge about to jump. No, so he says, once I saw this guy on a bridge about to jump. I said, don't do it. He said, nobody loves me. And I said, God loves you. Do you believe in God? He said, yes. And I said, are you a Christian or a Jew? He said, a Christian. I said, me too. Protestant or Catholic? He said, Protestant. I said, me too. What franchise? He said, Baptist. I said, me too. Northern Baptist or Southern Baptist? He said, Northern Baptist. I said, me too. Northern Conservative Baptist or Northern Liberal Baptist? He said, Northern Conservative Baptist. I said, me too. Northern Conservative Baptist Great Lakes region or Northern Conservative Baptist Eastern region? He said, Northern Conservative Baptist Great Lakes region. And I said, me too. Northern Conservative Baptist Great Lakes Region Council of 1879 or Northern Conservative Baptist Great Lakes Region Council of 1912. He said, Northern Conservative Baptist Great Lakes Region Council of 1912. I said, die, heretic, and I pushed him over the bridge.
That's the best joke ever
That was voted the best joke
of that year.
at 1 point. Yeah,
You're Mr.
I hadn't heard that one
That is-
before.
pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Great
I
job.
mean, Emo Phillips is one of the greatest joke writers of all time.
Haven't seen any specials from him in a long time. I remember there was an HBO special I watched.
He still does stuff. He tours with Weird Al Yankovic a bunch.
Nice.
Yeah, he had another joke I loved where he was like, when I was a kid, I asked for a bicycle all the time and I never got one. He says, when I was a kid, I prayed to God to give me a bicycle all the time and I never got one. So I stole a bike and then asked God for forgiveness because that's how he works.
Emo Phillips
Works
is
in mysterious ways.
He's a confusing. Yes, he did, and somebody said he cut his finger off in UHF. I said yes, he most certainly did.
Wow.
Really?
I'll be right back, gentlemen, and then Peter. It'll be Schadenfreude.
Story time.
I'm gonna log off right now.
No, you're not gonna log off. Give me like 1 minute.
I gotta go too, man.
Oh, Grant, I remembered another question.
What's that?
Now that you're looking for tour dates, do you find it's like a mad grab to find locations because other comics are out there doing the same thing?
Yeah, it's hard right now because a lot of famous comedians that don't normally do comedy clubs are doing comedy clubs right now because they're the type of people that are doing theaters bigger than comedy clubs, but they haven't, they didn't book any of those because they didn't know when we would be able to do that sort of stuff. And now that comedy clubs are open, they're like, well, I'll book some theater dates in the fall, but I'm going to try to get these comedy clubs right now. So, obviously if you have a chance to like get somebody like that, you're probably going to say yes.
It makes me think I should go to some comedy clubs right now.
Honestly, this is the time you could see famous people for the cheapest right now, for sure.
One of my favorite comics is a guy from the UK, Jamoyne.
I don't know.
He's pretty funny. He's like I'm not sure if he's Irish or what, but I've seen him on TV a bunch of times. He's quite funny.
Cool.
Are you coming up to Canada at all for your tour dates?
Borders aren't open yet. I mean, I
That's
had
true.
multiple Canadian dates on my calendar when everything got canceled.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that.
So at some point, hopefully those dates will honor them and rebook me, but right now the border's still not open.
I thought it was open for work though, if you had to travel for work.
I mean, it's not worth it to the comedy clubs.
I think you gotta have like a
yeah
family member or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have to quarantine and all that stuff too, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. They would book me, but I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks before. I can't. I mean, they're not paying me enough to do that.
Counterproductive for sure.
Yeah.
All right, gents. Thanks so much.
Good night, Matthew.
Have a great night.
Easy.
I'll save you a ticket.
Yeah.
I bought a BGG ticket today.
Oh, you bought one today? Thanks.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it feels good to have that back on.
I think I'm gonna buy one. Actually, I think I'm gonna buy one for my daughter right now, because I don't know because you might not be the best person. I sent Jeff an email, but it's too late for him to respond. So,
I mean, you should be able to buy. I mean, is it?
Well, okay. So if we get a 10x10 booth, you get 2 exhibitor badges with it.
Yeah.
But I know we're gonna have. I know for certain that Josh and Shane are gonna go. I'm going. My daughter's gonna work at the booth. We have a demo guy that's coming. So
yeah, you may need a few extra.
I mean, can we buy extra exhibitor badge?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean,
This
I'm
is gonna
almost
be the
positive,
first-
and I'm trying because we're probably going to like around the same time. We're probably going to be running the Last Light Kickstarter,
Right.
which is a 4X game that's freaking amazing. I mean, it is.
Why would you do that in
amazing.
November? Don't do that.
Why?
November.
We're launching it. We're launching it this year.
Okay.
It's. I mean, no. I mean, it's seriously.
I'm not
like,
one to argue.
Well, yeah. What do you know?
Because Kickstarter says that to me, like, don't launch it at this time, and I do it anyway. So I'm not gonna.
What? They tell you when not to launch stuff?
Oh yeah, they've told me several times. Don't launch now. I'm like, yeah, I'm not listening to that.
Why? What reason would they?
But the thing
do
is,
they have
that
metrics that much that they're now telling people?
I'm trying to sell Shane on basically, well, either launching it in October or November. But if we launch it in November, if it's the same time as BGG Con, we'll be able to like show it off and get a front end cap, right? Pay the money, and then so when people walk
have it
in,
like mid-December.
Yeah, and then people can see it. Or if we launch in October, we can do the pledge manager and have it launched then, and so people can see it. And then
right.
I'm just saying, like, I did that pain last year. Now, smaller game, but like, trying to get someone's attention after Thanksgiving. Oof, it's very hard.
Yeah,
they tune out.
I don't think I even saw your campaign.
Yeah, it was like right after the election. It went through Thanksgiving and it ended, December 10th. And it was like December.
It was a lot happening in the fall.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Election
happening.
was like all I was looking at.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so lots of things get launched on Kickstarter.
This is going to be the first year that I'm not going to BGG as an exhibitor. So
fun times ahead.
I'll still play games with you. I noticed that up front it said that there will only be coffee service in the exhibitor room. In the notes. So
yes, lukewarm coffee.
Nobody said anything about anything else. But anyway,
sure we'll get the lemonade. I mean, come on.
I'm certain. Yeah, I'm certain that the Glasscock room will where that was so cool last year. You were so nice to me, Aldi. You gave me that key that let me get in there. That was so awesome of you.
You're not supposed to say that out loud.
Well, I know, but I found that key, and then you told me that it was.
Do tell more about the secret keys.
It's a secret room.
This is why you don't tell Lance secrets.
Nobody's watching. Anyway, so here's Chroma.
Yeah.
And I was
Chromax.
Is it Chromax?
Well, it looks like an X on the box, but on the white background, it looks like
it does actually.
It looks like Chromax,
Oh,
but
I know that's another
a triangle box, a triangle shaped box.
Yeah, I remember there was another game that had a triangle shaped box that didn't go over well. That was a while ago though. I stumbled upon this.
Did you? Did it like pop up in your feed, or did
it just I don't know how it just came out. It's a tabletop game. It's a project they love. It has $115,000 as its goal.
Oh, that's high.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of
like
money.
317 backers. Oh, Breaking Games. Like God, I knew somebody who worked for Breaking Games.
That does seem like a familiar company.
Yeah, I knew somebody who worked there. I can't remember who it was though. But they've got $199 or $79.
I used to run all of their booths at BGG. In fact, what was kind of interesting about that was Breaking Games did not want to go to BGG. I was
really
Andrew Coulson and I were the only ones.
It was interesting because every time I talked to Sherry, he's like, "This is so cool," like she was like, "Oh, it's very like this is an awesome show." I mean, it is a small show, right?
She went there. Okay, to go way back, she went there when we sort of got into business together. She went there and she was at a booth, and I was showing Letter Tycoon for the first time to.
I remember
that. Brad was there with me. We were kind of showing it to her, and she was so infatuated with Letter Tycoon that she said, "I want to be part of this. I want to publish it." And it cracks me up because there was someone with a booth across the way. Okay, now imagine, I'm not going to say who the person with the booth across the way was, but they were this is how a booth should be done. You do this and you do this and you do this and you act professionally. And then he kept looking over and he was like, "What is happening?" And he later told me, he's like, "What is happening?" And I was like, "Listen, it's just, we're doing it a different way,
Is that where you guys had the cocktail tables?
Yeah, the cocktail tables I think came right out of that and a New York Toy Fair where they kind of went over well, and then all of a sudden the cocktail tables was the thing we did.
Gosh, it would suck to have to stand there for 8 hours though.
Yeah.
But did you have like little relief pads?
No.
Oh.
And those cocktail tables were, in the end, they turned out to be kind of a bad idea for strategy games. They were okay for a little card party, any smaller game, but then all of a sudden trying to put like King's Abbey on a cocktail table, and you start really regretting.
Oh wow, I haven't thought of the game King's Abbey in forever.
Yeah,
King's Abbey.
So I don't know why BGG got just not taken as one, they were doing 12 shows a year, but BGG was not on the list. And so this is my favorite show, so I want to go. And then Andrew Tulson luckily wanted to go, so we kind of split the thing.
Well, he used to do the printing for us.
Yeah,
he did he did all the badges and everything for us.
Yeah,
because he had the print and play productions. Right?
Andrew's a good guy.
He's a great guy. In fact, I texted him today and said, let's meet up at BGG Con because I miss playing games with him. But he also
I think if I remember his username is like a 100mm howitzer or something like that on BGG, on Board Game Geek.
100mm howitzer.
Yeah, 100mm howitzer is
he's such a great guy, and I had such a fun time doing booths. My favorite one was we did asking for trouble. It's too bad Chris is not on, but we decorated the whole thing in orange, and we did the hats. The hats were around BGG. It's great.
Anyway, I want to talk about Chroma here.
Yeah.
It's the official selection.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go finish editing the video.
Oh, that's right. You're staring at your phone for the last 20 minutes anyway, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Later.
Grant is always going to talk to you. You're going to BGG Con, so I definitely will see you in November.
Yeah.
That'll be neat. We'll actually see each other.
Yeah. I hope so.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Take care, buddy.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Later, brother.
Yep. Take it easy.
So winner
I've never worked on a triangle box.
Winner of the Indiecade Festival in 2019, Audience Choice Award.
What's the Indiecade?
Nobody knows. Official selection, Indiecade 2019 Night Games.
Yep.
Official selection, Indiecade Europe 2019. So Indiecade loves this game.
Oh yeah.
They love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So anyway, Strategy in a whole new light. Uses light as a game component. Incorporates color blending as a
It's got a
mechanism.
lit board.
Yes, you originally I think the design was you plugged it in, and now they've got.
This is just a tremendous amount of fun to play with. They probably could have moved that rest of that over.
If you attack the graphic design, then you're going after Chris. But
well, I mean, fine, I'll accept it. This is intriguing. The choices.
The choices are intriguing. Is that Yoda?
That's a great quote.
That's Chris E from the Dice Tower, though. He's a nice guy.
Oh god, that's funny.
Well, I'm not saying he told them use this quote.
Hold down a little bit. I want to see the.
Oh no, we're gonna take our time, son.
Oh,
we're gonna take our time.
Picking on this.
This
is someone's baby, Lance.
Doing here with the
I am all for, but this game's being marketed the wrong.
Ooh,
way.
I like that little 3D effect. Thing.
No, I mean that's
really
fine.
cool, actually.
I like that a lot. Chris is nailing it here. I also really like the framing of the stained glass over the gifts.
So each player gets a target color card, either purple, green, or orange. You draw a piece, place it on the board, and so that's
the color
fine.
cards are kind of funny because it's like, ooh, I guess I wonder which color Lance is. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think they're face up. So
and these are fine, right? I mean, it's just kind of like, and I think there's something to this that makes it kind of neat, right? With the colors and everything like that.
Yeah, the light and changing colors by blending.
This is a great game for targets. The original idea that I heard was like, a window box where you could actually see the colors and see the board and kind of pick it right off the shelf. And
I mean, this is not a good quote, though. I find it interesting that you're sharing colors with your opponents. I know Kevin probably said something better than that quote. Or do what I do when I watch a video and I'm like, yeah, I couldn't get anything out of your video that's a good quote. Can you just give me one? I'm
going to say this. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you just give me one right now and I'll put it on the thing?
I usually ask too, because sometimes it's just not on their mind.
Because most people don't write out a script for their video. They kind of just do a stream of their thoughts and they're a little bit off the cuff. They have a general sense.
Yeah, and I remember asking Rich Summer something where he said something about Rise of Tribes like crushed Catan into the ground or something. I said, can I take that and say that? He goes, let me rephrase that in a way that's not going to get me in trouble. Yeah. Funny. Because it's hard to get a quote sometimes.
So this game is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this game. It would do really well in my live stream. Again, I know Michael. If you said, Michael, I want a better quote, can you just tell me something you like about the game? You could get, it's like,
true.
That's just a bad quote. It's just, and these people for $79.
So there's
$79. You can get the white plastic frame, but for $99, we'll get you that obsidian.
This is unfortunately an area where I disagree with the strategy.
So I'm paying $20 for black paint?
I don't like it. I also really don't like the answer they gave in the fact. Did you read the fact about why it costs $20 more? You got to see why they cost $20 more.
Why is Obsidian tier $20 more? This is uncharted territory for me. Here we go. I think this is the second question, such as change fees and factory charges that from production. Also, there are other fees and considerations on the other side of the factory that cost us in order to add the second option. For example, it is an added cost for the factory to separate and mark the units. For shipping purposes, the card man also is printed and are labeled different.
So labels is the reason why it's $20. You got to label those boxes that say black on it.
Will there be a pledge manager? Yes, of course. Will there be he chose to try to showcase the unique design.
It is cheaper.
I'm not opposed to Triangle. I'm not opposed to abstracts. I think the page looks pretty good. I cannot believe it's $79. I just think that's unfortunate.
I mean, it's obviously electronics, right?
Yeah, the thing is that it's a hard thing to make that.
What's behind the game? I never.
Why is this one person not pictured? Do they just not show up on film? Are they a
What's that?
vampire?
Did that mouse get clipped in the wrong? I think the screenshot.
This is, by the way, I love this particular image. Is my favorite one of Chris's. I think it's really classy looking. This image, yeah.
Oh, that's your mouse. Oh no, it's my mouse. I'm like, why is there a mouse over the top of it? I'm an idiot.
So
It's like
So I'm
blocking
saying, but
grenades.
again, is this person a vampire? Do they not show up on film? I mean, I just
Well, they're obviously in the audience, the jury of the Indicate or whatever.
I don't think so.
wanna-
Audience Choice Award. I mean,
I like the light,
this.
the way the lighting.
Yeah, I mean, the light. This is cool. I mean, this is kind of neat. You know, yeah. I mean, I'll say that.
It's pretty cool.
But here's my problem is that it's like I'm still paying $80.
See, it's just not $80 is tough.
That is a rough amount to try to hit.
It's on the high end.
And
The weird part about that is, okay, here's a question. Would you play, remember, you know how James Ernest has tack, right? Imagine if you were buying a really nice set of tack with like big, like the wooden tack.
Yeah, I bought one of those.
I'd probably pay $80. Like you would pay a lot for wood.
Yeah, for nice wood.
But I guess because plastic is, I mean, I know it's expensive to get an indie project done in plastic, but it just doesn't have that same, like, I will have a piece for time to, stand and.
Now here's something that's great that I found absolutely crazy. Okay, so it's like, aw shucks preview. So this is a shut up and sit down preview.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, holy crap. Shut up and sit down to do a preview. That's, I mean,
I can't ever get them to do a preview of anything.
I mean, they don't. So I clicked on it. And I was like, oh, okay, 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So it isn't super long. And I was like, oh, well, then sometimes so I click on this button to go to the YouTube page, right? And I went to this 45 views for a shut up and sit down video. And then I realized it wasn't even on Shut Up and Sit Down channel. It's like they did the preview and then I don't get that. I don't.
It's clipped out of the online convention somehow.
Yeah, it was done for a convention. Breaking Games is, trying to share it, but yeah, you're right. It's not going to go anywhere, sadly. No one's going to see it except for on the Kickstarter page. So if you're already there, you'll see it, but you're not getting any of the benefit of Shut Up and Sit Down.
Well, theoretically, you already got the benefit because it came out.
You got the benefit
convention already, right?
Right.
But maybe it didn't time right because the convention was when last year.
No, it was actually. Was it last year?
Or was it this year?
I've lost all sense of time. It was their spring thing this year that they did.
So I know how much you pay for some of these videos, right? I know how much people are paying for this stuff.
Yeah.
So it isn't like they didn't spend the money to get it out there and get people to play it and get people to look at it. I don't know why you list 925.
I was telling Chris, this is the first time I've ever seen someone list like a non-rounded number for shipping.
Just round it to 10.
Yeah.
Also, to block in shipping costs right now is, I don't know if that's wise.
Yeah.
I mean, not to really criticize.
No. There's
because
a lot
next year it might be 11.
Yeah.
No, you bring up a good point because I don't actually know what we're going to do about that with Flamecraft. Whether we're going to say, here's what we think it's going to be, but we're not going to do the shipping manager.
Does anybody tell you what the shipping costs are?
I don't know. We should go to
I'm not really looking that closely at these.
Yeah.
I mean, you always pay shipping right before it ships. So
most fulfillment companies will lock in a rate for you.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, if you tell them, hey, I'm going to send this, what is it going to cost me? And they'll lock in. I think this game would definitely have legs, and it probably would be kind of cool to play like a little light bright game or whatever. But I mean, who are these people that are paying $20?
Well, I'll tell you what
go to the breakdown. Go to the community tab. Brooklyn. 8 people from Brooklyn.
That's where the designers are.
Oh, okay. Well, that's friends.
Yeah.
Chicago, San Francisco, London, very affluent cities.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think
Sydney.
I wish Chroma the best. My biggest thing with it is, this is why I think, part of my philosophy difference is why I ultimately left. There are games that should be on Kickstarter. There are games that shouldn't be on Kickstarter, because Kickstarter is a place where the community can contribute, and like this one has no stretch goals. There's no reason for the community to come and say anything. It has zero place to talk. Like for 30 days, what are you going to talk about? My favorite color is orange. I don't know what else to have.
I didn't even see this. The batteries are integral inside. It isn't like it's powered by 2 AA's that you can pop out and pop back in.
What are
People
they?
are asking, how long are these batteries going to last? Because like it's like an integral thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's a good question.
Is it not a USB thing?
Yeah, it isn't. It's like, so here's a question. It says, what's the expected life of the battery, and will it be serviceable in any way? Since batteries degrade over time, it would be nice if we could replace it when it can no longer hold a charge for an extended period. Yeah, it's like thanks for asking. We have been working on this question. It's a good one. For now, I can report that we have prototypes that have traveled the world and have been going strong for 2 years. We will get more info on the batteries to you soon. I'm assuming you recharge it, by USB.
It has a
or
USB.
Yeah. But
or power up USB. Or
I mean, and technically most things, like, you can just plug them into USB and leave them plugged in, right? But it's a good question.
Well, yeah, it's actually funny because we got the same question on dwellings with the sound bases. How many plays of the sound base will we get?
Yeah, how long will those batteries last?
Apparently 800 uses, 800 times the roar sounds. I was like, that's probably fine. But I made sure
mine. I haven't even opened it. I've only been playing on tabletop.
The factory originally did not put a way to change the battery, and I was like, no. Someone's going to play the game with 800 roars of the Mother of Dragons, and I want them to be able to put it in a new battery. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, otherwise, you're breaking it open.
Yeah, right.
Sawing it open or hot knifing it.
But yeah, the thing is that it's funny when you talk to a new creator too, and they're like, and this was Alex at Board Game Co. just did this really great video, 5 reasons your Kickstarter will fail, and one of them was
he did a negative.
He did a top 5 reasons your project will fail. One of the big ones was you don't find the right cost, and then he said in that video is, well, but I couldn't get the right cost. I asked all these people and I couldn't get a better cost. He's like, yes, that is a reason why it's not viable. You can't just like take the reason why it's not viable and then plow forward and hope that it works out. If you're getting the answer and the answer is not good, that's maybe you don't make that one.
Is the
King's I'll tell you right now the reason why your Kickstarter fails. I mean, the number one reason, you don't get 2,000 people signed up on a waiting list.
That was his number. His number 1 was price. His number 2 was community.
No, I mean, and it isn't even community. I don't care. I mean, the number one thing is that, like Shane just says, we don't go live without 2,000 people waiting to be notified by us that our project went live. He said, "You have."
What if you never get to 2,000?
On the next one.
No, because there's games we haven't. I mean, I'm not going to show you, but I mean, there's Kickstarter pages that are just sitting there dormant that we were like, okay, this one we'll wait on it right now until we revamp it or stuff like that. He's like, no, we'll go live when we have 2,000 people, so we can be funded in 2 hours, and then we don't have to worry about it. Then it's great,
right?
And then you just sit back and you monkey with it and you change it and you fuss with it and as it goes in then. But after that you're done. You're like, oh, we got our $50,000 that we needed.
Yeah, I mean when Glenn's game Mosaic went live, he had over 7,000 ready to go. 7,000 subscribed.
And then when you click that button, it just starts that avalanche, right? You're like, why are 2,000 people backing this? Holy shit, this game must be awesome. And Mosaic is really good. But I mean, but
so I look at those numbers a lot now. In fact, when Breaking Games went live with Chroma, they had about 600 on that list, and I'm just kind of paying attention to like what is the number you go live with, what is the number you see happen. I'm kind of watching campaigns right before they go live now, so that I could kind of watch that number, because we have 2,300 on Flamecraft, and I'm trying to get it bigger because that number counts. I mean, people have to be ready to go, just so it causes that chain effect, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, if you don't have those people chomping at the bit, I mean,
The
not even
show-
really chomping at the bit, just
I mean,
keep.
who all did YouTube previews there, and how much of does that all add up to?
Well, first
Are they
of all,
like 1,000 each?
let's talk about this. I
They're
want
expensive.
I
Yeah.
want to talk about.
I mean, they
this.
should be, right? It's a lot of work.
Wait. A couple years ago, they were like, most people were free, and a handful of the ones you knew were a little bit of money, and now it's totally crazy.
Everybody, yeah.
So then Lance can take it away now.
So
Lance was one of the few that charged, I think, at the time.
way back in the day, yes.
Yeah, but you had
now,
a
Yeah, but it
name.
wasn't a
now-
lot.
But you had
But now
a
when
name,
I get
it
asked,
wasn't a lot.
seriously, now when I get asked, first of all, I say, let me read the rules. Second thing I say is like, if I don't think the game is, I read the rules, and then I mentally figure out how long it's going to take me to put that video together. And if it is like one of those things where it's like, I can't, like, after I've played it, like, get it, play it, and then have it set up and ready to
Journalize
go.
it.
If I can't do all my raw video in an evening, and that's just me waiting for everybody else in this house to go to bed, and then I just do the video because it's quiet and I can get the shit done, and then I can spend a day or two editing it out and doing whatever. If I don't think I can do that, like the game has 7,000 little gears and buttons and whatever, I'm just not going to do it. I'm like, I just don't want to. I don't want to spend that much time on it. So then if it passes that, I say, send me the game. I'll get it done. If you want me to send it to somebody else, I will. But after I'm done, you pay me. And they ask me, what do I pay you? And I say, pay me what you think it's worth. If you think it's worth $50, great. If you think it's worth more than that, great. That way, I don't have to feel bad about saying I need X number of dollars for my time to do this, and then I make the video, and then I watch like a Kickstarter flounder or not do well, and I don't have to feel like shit for like taking their money and like, yes, I did work for them, yes, but now they're like, well, great, and not only that, but we paid that piece of shit up in Minnesota $500 and it didn't do anything for us. So thanks a lot, shithead. And here's the deal.
I mean, it's a weird.
No, and that's fine. I'm not saying everybody else has to do it like that. I am very lucky that I live in a situation where I work full time in the gaming industry and I can do this whenever I want to or whenever I choose not to, right? And the thing is that I'm not man versus meeple. It isn't my job, right? I'm not the dice tower. It isn't my job. But here's the deal, and you need videos for your game for the basic reason is that if somebody comes and wants to give you money, if you don't have a video, that will be something that will drive people away. If you do have a video, people will be excited to be like, okay, I'll click on that and I'll watch it at twice the speed, or I'll click around, see what it is. Maybe they'll sit there and watch the whole thing. Who knows? Regardless, having 2 or 3 videos is great. These campaigns that you see with 10 videos, what are you doing? I mean, it's just nobody's gonna watch all those.
Yeah, I realized on both dwellings we did too many.
Yeah, and it's just and or if they watch them all, it's the same people watching the same ones. So it's like you're getting confirmation. They're getting confirmation information, so they want to do it, right? But I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And here's the deal: is that, and I will fully agree that if you go to a big channel that has 25,000 or more subscribers and their videos, and I don't care what video it is, regularly get 1,000 or more views time in, time out, they can bring people into it, but it isn't a sizable portion of your backers anymore. The amount of money that some of these channels, and this is just my opinion, but this is my opinion as a publisher, the amount of money that those they want for those videos is not commiserate with the number of backers they get,
No.
and that's just my opinion. Why? And I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong, but here's the deal. Time and time again, we have given video reviewers that we have given money to saying, could you please use this Google Analytic link on your video? So when we can see the traffic, like almost nobody uses it because they don't want it tracked. They don't want the actual, oh, I forgot to put it in there. I forgot to do it. Oh.
But advertising and marketing is not always like a 1-for-1 thing, right?
It absolutely
No,
isn't.
that's
It
true.
absolutely isn't. But I mean,
Right.
and I say this, and Shane and I have had lots of discussions about this, and it's one of those things where the Kickstarter, the successful Kickstarter page that you have that draws people in because you've done the effort of getting people excited, done your own advertising, broadcast your game on Facebook, done things like, if you back within the first 24 hours, you'll get this free thing. If you sign up to be notified upon launch and you're on our list, we will give you this free thing. Do things like that to get people all jazzed, like drive people in there, drive people to sign up and be excited about it. And then you launch and you get all those people to go to it. The Kickstarter page drives more people to the video than the video drives people to the Kickstarter page.
It's true.
And the thing is so are we going to go and give somebody $1,000 or more to do a really nice, and I take nothing away from their abilities. I take nothing away from their capabilities of putting together a smart, sexy, flashy, beautiful video.
Yep.
Put the work I put together to shame, to fucking shame, but do we do that? Or do we go to somebody like William Brown, the Hungry Gamer, who I will give all the shout outs to in the world, who is passionate, cares, just loves doing the videos, is excited to do them, and does a good job? And is it as amazing as a Dice Star video? No. But does he convey like a feeling of the game and doesn't charge a penny for it? Just wants a free copy of the game after he's said and done, and he should be charging people. I've told him that.
Oh yeah, I have told him as well.
But the thing is
who is this?
This is
Hungry Gamer.
He was on.
Hungry.
Was he on last week?
Yeah, he was on last week. I told him he's welcome to come on anytime he wants.
Yeah, such a great guy.
Yeah, William is. He's a good guy.
The thing that gets my notice all the time as a consumer of Kickstarters is all those videos hitting in the same hour, like the same day, right? Because they've obviously been
they've been held.
Yeah, they've been held, right? They've been what do you call it?
Embargoed.
Embargoed, yeah, to a certain date, and then who does that every time? Jamie Stegmaier. So you can't help but notice 15 content creators all putting out a video on the same day.
Do you think that's
because they want that first
good or bad or whatever?
No, I mean it just gets you noticed, right? It's interesting because I follow.
It's another aspect, right?
Well, the reason why I ask you what you think about it is because for this next one, Flamecraft, there's one content creator that said, "Hey, can we go early and try and do you more coverage?" I'm tempted to take that offer because, of course, more coverage would be great. But I actually don't know how the others feel about it because it means a little bit of a
embargo it.
Yeah.
Don't treat anybody different. Yeah, I mean, because then, say this is the date. Please follow it.
And the thing is that other people's mileage may vary. There might be people out there, other publishers out there, who are going to tell me all day long. It's like, oh no. When we get a Dice Tower thing, we can directly see that money come in for the work that they do. And prove me wrong, but I mean, like every single time we've tried to determine, and like, trust me, a lot of these content creators, and I get it too, and I cards on the table. When I was in the thick of it and doing Kickstarter work, people would say, "Oh, can we get you to use this link?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll probably forget to put it on there." I mean, just because it was that shady as shit for me to do, probably. So I don't.
It's so weird that that Kickstarter doesn't give you any analytics. Can you use just analytics on the page?
You can see where they come from like you can see they come from a YouTube source.
Yeah,
something like that.
But you don't know exactly where.
But you don't know exactly where. No.
If you put your own, can you put your own Google Analytics on the page and like get full tracking information?
Well, yeah. So you give them a little Bitly link that has their.
No, I know, but that's the refer. But I'm just saying,
you can link
general,
up to.
Like I know, 40% of our traffic comes from Google. And if I dig into it, I can see exactly what the search terms were.
You can put whatever that Google tag is, or
the Google tag, and you'll get full analytics.
You can tie the analytics.
Actually, I played with it. Side note, played with analytics for like 2 hours today with Kyle, and we found some very interesting things on BGG.
And you're gonna leave it at that?
It's interesting. A lot of people who read the forums are ages 34 and up. And a lot of people who don't read the forums are 24 to 34.
Huh.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
The age demographics we got today were like incredibly insightful.
This just in. People only read text and
stuff. And our files, people, I never thought files were, I mean, they're obviously important, but they're one of our biggest traffic makers now. I thought Geek List videos would be for sure high. The board game page is by far like the biggest thing, right?
So by the way,
but the files are like the most viewed content.
I have to say, since this is an Alaboom type of topic, the only person who's ever violated an embargo that I've given anyone, the only person who's ever broken it is a guest on this show. Forrest just went out and did the video. Like, Forrest, I told you not to leak that.
Nobody watched it.
No,
no, Forrest did that for us too, and I had for Ragnarok. So I was like, Ragnarok. I was like, shut it down,
turn it off.
That's okay because he makes up for it by passionate.
But you can, it's weird because you can tell videos when to go live on YouTube.
Yeah. No, now I think the tools are even better. Before, maybe not.
I'm feeling video content for board games is definitely on the decline.
You think so?
People are just not looking at it.
Huh. That's interesting that you
I just think there's just so much of it now. You can't make a head.
Therein lies one of the other problems with content creation. So we have copies to give to people, and of course there's the big channels. You're like, okay, well they're charging a lot of money. Let's look back again at the free channels, which includes Hungry Gamer and some other ones. But then a lot of them don't have any traffic. And so, for example, someone reached out and they said, "Oh, I love the look of your game, and I'm on Instagram, and I tweet, I'll not tweet, but I will post a picture of your game on Instagram, and I look at their followers on Instagram, and I go, I don't know, that's not a lot. So I think what the problem is there's a lot of them with 500 people or less. There's a lot of them, so you're like, okay, I want to help you. But one picture in your entire
I don't
Instagram
know what
feed.
what the level is now. Like what do brands do? Like big brands, right? There's a documentary on Netflix about Instagram influencers, and they make 3 fake Instagram. Have you heard about this? They make 3 fake influencers. They interviewed like 50 people in LA, picked 3 and said, you're gonna be an influencer. And you just gotta follow all of our rules. Right? And they get one of them actually becoming an influencer, like legitimately becoming one. But they used a ton of fake followers. Tons of fake followers. Like you can just buy followers on Instagram, right? And commenters.
You can buy YouTube subscribers if you want.
Yeah, you can buy YouTube subscribers. You can buy fake followers. TikTok is another one too. I'm like, how did 10 million people watch this video? Like, what? You can buy fake followers on TikTok. Not that I'm accusing anyone, but I was like,
there was someone I know who used to pad their followers, and then what I would notice is that when they launched, they wouldn't get the results they were thinking, because you have all fake. You don't have real interest in whatever it is.
So getting real interest now is, I think, a mystery. Yeah, because I don't think people are really watching everything that looks like they're watching.
There you go. YouTube market. You want 400 YouTube subscribers, son? Give us $20. We'll give you 400.
Sad.
I find as a consumer of the videos that it's the same game on 300 channels. And that's been a problem for years. But being that there's so many channels,
I mean, I think for me, Rahdo has the best presentation type stuff. Like, because
Yeah.
he really gets into it, and he has his own. He gives his real opinion on everything, no matter what, even though he charges.
Yeah, I would love
Right.
someday for Rada to deign it important enough.
Right,
to-
but you got to make a game that works. Well, he's
I-
got the
I thought I
Rada
had it with
Radoettes.
Wellings,
Uh-huh.
but no.
And he's got his the guys that do the other the games, like the guy would have done Dwellings, Shane or whatever I think is his name.
We actually it's
RTFM.
funny. So Rada didn't want to do Dwellings, was ignoring it for a long time. And then enough of his viewers said, will you cover
doing it.
Dwellings finally? So then he wrote to Luke and I and said, can I have this game for Shay? I was like, yeah, of course you
For
can have
Shay.
this game for Shay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we gave it to Shay, and Shay liked it, and it's great. But
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I think to get noticed now is super fucking hard. You have to
Yeah.
have stunning artwork. You have to have a million minis. Because people just, I mean, it just is what it is, right? Like, how does
I keep getting that one wrong. I do
how
limited
does
mini.
a Marvel United get 6 million? 3 million.
Yeah,
I can't remember what the number
insane.
was. Because the
It
minis,
almost got me to back by that sheer number of like, these won't be available. These won't be available. It's hundreds. It's like ridiculous amounts of minis that you can never get again. I was so
Works.
close. I was
Lincoln,
like,
it got Lincoln. Lincoln was against it. He was going to not do it. And then we started painting, and he got it.
yeah.
Right? It's that eventually enough pressure builds
Yeah.
up, and then you just push people over the edge to spend the money.
Who is this?
Lincoln.
Oh, with this painting.
Because we were like, we don't even know any of the characters in the Marvel, the X-Men.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of characters that like
Like I haven't
yeah.
even. I think I know like 5 of the characters.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the ones that are in the movies. Beyond that, not a single one.
right.
But I think the minis are so cool, and I like painting them. But
It just becomes Simon is the best at the value investment, right? It's the opposite of the campaign we looked at it a minute ago. The longer it goes, the better your money gets. And it's
and
just
then they
like,
have their every 50 grand, they got another mini.
I'm like,
How
at
can
some
you
point
turn
you're
that
like, how
down?
could I
It's
not?
amazing.
Yeah.
You'd be like shooting yourself after that if you don't.
But for me, that was still like 300 to get into a game. I wasn't gonna, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not for everyone, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's putting us down a path of limited game designs because you have to have minis now. It feels like, or you have to have some kind of spectacular top tier art.
Yeah.
Or an IP
really,
or a.
What got
I mean,
me
it's
depressed,
really funneling everything down into like.
Yeah, what kind of got me depressed on Tuesday? Because
Depressing.
here I have a game that's coming that has minis, it has coins, it has silkscreen meeples, it has the best art I could find out there. I am putting down the gauntlet, but I watched the video for Scarface 1920 and Valor and Villainy, and I go, you have to like make you have to make a trailer now that is like movie scene.
Yeah, like a Hollywood quality.
I'm just like, God,
I
everything.
didn't watch either one of those.
They're amazing.
Are
Both
they?
of those videos.
Can you throw
are
them up there
amazing.
real
In
quick,
fact,
points? Just see.
what was it?
I just want to look at them real quick. Just scan through them.
So
can
yeah,
share
Valor
screen.
and Villainy. If you look at it, it's a continuous shot through a bar scene. It's going through the entire bar scene like a movie shot. It's like,
Is this doing better than the first Valor and Villainy? I
I don't know actually.
Like, are they just building on top of their fan base?
I know they have.
Because the last one came out like last year. It just came out.
It just came out. People, I saw people playing it and so forth, and I didn't get that one. How did it do the first one? The first one did 311,000. This one's already on track to blow that one. Skybound has been known for good trailers. Obviously, when I saw
they're a
Title
production company,
Blades,
right?
yeah, I mean, Title Blades was an animated movie at the start of it, so that's what the bar is being set at. And I see that bar. I see Roxley set that bar, and I keep going, "Oh, mine are shit. I have to make mine better and better because these things are telling me if it doesn't look like this, forget
Oh, yeah,
about
this
it."
is amazing.
Yeah.
I can already tell just from the first 5 seconds. Let me put
It's
it on.
just like, it's amazing that they had that much to put into that. And then Scarface was definitely less production. Yeah, it's a whole.
Oh wow, that's neat how they made it 3D but not moving.
Yeah, they're panning through an entire set.
Yeah, are these? No, there's 3-dimensional.
Yeah,
That's neat.
I mean, yeah, they're.
The world famous pit of balls.
So
Really cool.
I mean, you know,
I'm not doing that. I
and
can't do that.
again, I won't say that a video won't help you, but I mean, it's 3 minutes long.
It's a little long. It's impressive as hell.
Nobody
though.
watches.
It's really
Nobody
neat.
cares.
People watch these videos.
Here's what's
I mean,
amazing.
but here's
too.
the deal. Look at all the minis.
You know, they got minis. One of them
And-
detaches, and then they also have a story element where you choose
Yeah,
which
no,
way.
this already is making me interested in this.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying the game isn't fun or good or anything else like that. All I'm saying is that I'm a firm believer.
And then
game trays. Throw
Hey,
them
look at
out.
this.
and game trays.
Look,
You
but
have
look at the
to-
previous. Is this the previous game? How
Yeah,
much
that's the
you get?
previous one.
You get way more stuff.
Yeah,
Throw the
Look at all
game
those stacks
trays
of
right
cards
in the
there.
garbage.
look at that. There's so much stuff.
What's wrong with game trays, Lance?
Because
Yeah.
This is really that's a really cool
because when
video.
the
actually.
expansion comes out, you can't put it in the box. You gotta
That's
have
not
another
true.
box.
If the publisher does it right, you should be fine.
But you got to have another box, and that's another thing. You know, it used to be, and that's one of the things in my video that I'm going to launch from, is that it used to be this crap used to come in one box, and if you got an expansion, it fit inside the box.
Yeah,
It wasn't like, oh, you got an expansion, add that too. Like Super Fantasy Brawl is like a really good game from Mythic, but it's like they made it so you used every inch of that box, and if you were one of the the Kickstarter backers, you got that exclusive team that doesn't fit in the box.
that's ridiculous.
So you gotta keep this extra box just for your all-in pledge.
know.
It's just like why wouldn't you just make the box slightly bigger so you could put this in there, and then for people that buy the retail version, you just put a piece of
That's it.
foam in there,
Well-
and then allow them to go off and buy. If they wanted to buy that little expansion off your website, so then it's got a spot.
I mean, for the longest time on Dwellings, I was going to do a small base box and two boxes of monsters, and people rioted. They were like, "No, I want it all in one box, or that's it." And I was like, "How does Joan of Arc not get this mob? Why did I get this mob?" But then when everyone wanted one box, and this is what we did. But
You know what?
it's hard to.
And I don't know why they did this, but Kickstarter took away that video conferencing. I watched so much of that. I watched
love
tons
when
of
they
that.
did that.
Why did they take that away?
I don't know.
Was it just buggy?
It was buggy, and not enough people used it, and it just.
I
was
loved
like,
it. I loved when Vindication did like their team chats and stuff.
Oh, we used to
Yeah.
on launch day on TMG. We used to go live on launch day, and then we would sit there and talk until we funded, and then we would just talk about the game, and we'd show off the game. We'd say if you have any questions at all about this or anything else about TMG related, we'll talk about it. Then when people backed, we would call out their names.
You can't embed a Twitch. It would pop up. It was totally awesome because it would
It
give
was
me
like Frozen Whiskers just backed. Awesome.
and you're like,
so
oh, I
much,
better
Frozen
back it. I
Whiskers.
want my name up there to what people say. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, why would Kickstarter give us?
Well, no, I'm just curious. I wonder what the story is.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wonder what the story
I'm
is
sure it
also.
cost them money
Because they
and
acquired a
dev
company
time.
for that.
Yeah. No, they. I'm sure it cost them money and dev time and everything else, and it was just like, well, we're getting all this money without, and we don't have to do this because they'll still come to us or whatever.
And
So,
can you embed? You can't embed a Twitch channel. And
Actually,
can you?
I think now you can.
But you
because
still
the
don't
two
get
things
the,
I
the
remember-
cool thing
But you
that
don't.
people have
You don't get
backed
the
it.
notifications. and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
No, so I think like for example, I was watching Darwin's Journey when it launched, and they were playing a game on TTS and on Twitch, and I remember it being very, very interactive to see that like at launch. It was great, but I don't think they got the same. It's not like they were connected. It's just that they plopped in the URL for the live to the Twitch.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's a scrap now to get a customer. Plus, I mean, as the years go by, projects stack up, and you're like, well, at some point I'm gonna stop. This is I'm talking as an average, right? I'll stop backing these until I get some of this stuff in,
Yeah.
right? Clear the queue.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like-
just
You're still waiting for Frosthaven. We're still waiting for. Gosh, what's a big one pre-Frosthaven? Trying to think of something. There's got to be something though.
So there's
I haven't
some-
gotten any of my really big ones that every content creator has seemed to gotten already.
You're not special enough, Scott.
No, and I don't want to be special because I just want to see what the reality of this
Right,
is.
right. I get you.
I have seen that, like, I mean, so, I mean, it was one of those things where it was like, when, like the Blacklist miniatures, like, they're a thing that, like, and I don't know, I mean, the shipping is
Yeah.
getting it so, like,
Oh.
nobody can get their like in the U.S.
Oh. Shipping's fucked.
What?
Yeah.
Like bogged down. What's the deal
Well,
with the
yeah, but
Assassin's
now,
Creed?
now they're talking. They. I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, we'll get, U.S. should have their stuff in March, U.S. should have their stuff in April. Now it's looking like June. Now we're hoping October.
Yeah,
It's just like, because they just can't get the stuff out of China.
and I think it'll just cascade. What was the deal with Assassin's Creed? I think I saw something from Alex on that, but I didn't at the time. I couldn't follow it, but it sounded like they were requiring $10 extra or something.
Yeah. So the thing is that right now, even if you just take, say, James's example for Wonderland's War, he has 3 containers. Previously, they were going to be $7,000 each. Now they're $18,000 each.
Right.
So that's a lot. But Assassin's Creed has so many containers, so they're like,
Right.
we got to ask for money because we're not. We can't possibly.
Yeah.
They even admitted in their thing, they're like, we were prepared to eat $75,000, but we're gonna have to eat $150,000 unless we get your help. So we're gonna have to say we need your help. That's but I noticed that on Assassin's Creed, nobody complained. No, everyone's like, well, I want the thing, so
I need to go look at mine. You have to. The problem is I missed out on the Reichbusters fix pack. You heard about this?
Yeah.
They have my old address, so I guess the people who bought my house have it. I need to call them and see if they've got something. But basically, like, I want to play that game, but I wasn't going to play it because after I heard the fix pack, I'm like, well, I'm not going to play it until the fix pack.
I'm sure they'd send you one, but
I know, but
I think I actually have an extra one. So
but for a smaller campaign, which is like,
I'll call my the person who bought my
the
house.
situation we're about to be in. Even if I went to backers, so we're not sure what we're gonna do yet. If I went to backers and said, "Hey, listen, this sucks," so I'm gonna have to say, "Can we get some?" It's a challenge for any Kickstarter because some backers are not paying attention anymore. Some would be very angry by that. Some would be reasonable by that. You're just gonna get a mixed bag of results. And so, for example, let's say we asked, but we only half read that email, and then only a half of that said, "Sure, here's money." You might be in a boat where you still don't have the money, and you have to act.
You might be in trouble. Like if you take money at that point, and then you still don't have the money, what are you gonna do?
I mean, it sucks.
Declare bankruptcy? I don't know.
Oof. I don't know.
Or try to get a friend, or like another company.
Right.
I need to look at this.
It's very scary out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk like
interesting. They put Quackalope and Alex videos in their update.
Oh, that's what's going in my next update, which is like, watch this.
Sandy Peterson.
Are you running something right now that's being affected by that, Peter?
Yeah, Mission Catastrophe is affected.
Oh, right. Sandy Peterson.
So Sandy Peterson Games, they're like at a standstill. They can't. They've got like 3 or 4
big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they just can't get out. It's just stuck.
It sucks. Something's got to give, though. I mean,
it will.
I'm hoping somewhere someone steps in and
give it time.
Especially with the holiday season, hopefully someone.
No, the article I read, and my dad is somewhat of an economist studier. I sent him this article. He hadn't heard about this. Like Christmas is like screwed right now.
Yeah,
some big things happen. Yeah. And I haven't heard anything about the government stepping into doing anything about it.
what can they get really? I mean,
What
I
can
just read something similar about how the lumber industry is facing similar problems.
Mm.
So enough industries, I guess, being affected might mean something happens. That's what I can.
Well, it might get noticed.
Yeah.
Versus.
Well,
yeah.
one of the weird things is that the like so the blacklist miniatures things. So like they did a secondary. They did a like a blacklist miniatures 2 basically, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay, so here's the blacklist miniatures 2, and they were like, and there's all these people are like in the US that are just like, I don't want to back this until I actually see the miniatures in my hand from the first one, because I gave you the money and I'm waiting for it. I want to see the quality of these miniatures. And they're like, oh well, don't worry, we'll leave our the pledge manager open, and then and you'll have plenty of time to late back after you get those. And now they're like, well, we're hoping we'll get it to you before the fall. And so they're just basically saying, we're just gonna leave the pledge manager open until we fulfilled. It's just like, but they'd love to close it, I'm sure.
I mean, are they using Peter to pay Paul?
I don't
is
think
this
so.
raising? Oh, okay.
Because Blacklist is the Sadler brothers, and they're
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're good people.
Sure.
I mean, if it was somebody,
yeah.
I don't think they're sketchy at all.
No, but I mean, like, are they out of money to get the shipping done? Is it one of those kinds of deals where like you need another project to your cash flow, right?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, that's just my gut, though.
Not sure they tell you if they were.
Well, yeah, I don't think
Probably
like, we're out of money. I don't think they'd say that by any means.
I haven't read this Assassin's Creed, but it is really long, and I can't. I'm just like, what's the TLDR? Man, just like it's 500 pages long.
Yeah. It's just there's a lot of times when you're just like, this is too much stuff, right?
I need to do my Monty Cook. Like, I actually was, when I was sick that week, Lance, I was watching the show and I forgot I had Bactolis as well, so I don't have any product.
You got to go in and click on a
I know.
link and buy it.
But had I not seen you talk about it, I would have been like, they would have just absorbed my money when I wouldn't got anything.
Yeah, I had to like, yeah, it was just one of those things where, and I was looking at the stuff I've backed like recently, and like pretty much all of the stuff that I've backed is mostly RPG stuff. I hardly back any. It's just it's so little of the D&D stuff. I mean, just so little of the board game stuff that I back.
But that's a weird way to fulfill. It's a third.
It is,
I mean, I'm sure
we'll give you a credit.
I did a Kickstarter payment. I probably did a pledge manager, and now I'm doing the store where I have to buy something again with a credit card or with a.
I have to go to your.
I think it's so hard for me
to fill that out and make that happen. Yeah, I know it's garbage, and I don't say that lightly. I think that's a garbage process, and it's
annoying.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's just and like I said, if I hadn't gone in and because like, oh, we sent an update. Jesus Christ, I backed 7,000 things. You want me to like check every single one of these updates and make sure I got this right? I'm not. That's not cool. I mean, I don't know. It's just, and I'm just got the bad.
Yeah, I just found my coupon.
You just found it?
Yeah.
You got to click on that coupon.
By the way, I have an expired coupon as well from 2020 for the PDFs, right? Because I didn't get the PDFs.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But it's expired now, so I can't use it.
There's I remember like this was definitely a fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like there were these hoodies that I got for my wife and I from this like these adventure hoodies with a 3 instead of the E in adventure. And it was this company, and it took them forever to fulfill these hoodies, but they were really nice hoodies, like super nice, and they cost a lot of money too. I mean, it was like over $100 per hoodie, but they had like a deal. You could get 2, and excuse me. So they saw they did another one again, and it was like, oh, they're redoing the hoodie and they changed it slightly, and I'm like, oh, okay, well these things are pretty sweet. We both like them, so I was like, you know what? fine. It took me a long time to get this one. I'm gonna do it again. They are like super late, and they aren't giving any refunds. They aren't doing anything, and their answer is that their manufacturer for this hoodie, because they've and admittedly they made it a point. They said we're gonna have a U.S. manufacturer for these items, right? Well, it's just like, they had a order of, they had over like something like 8,000 hoodies that need to be made, and they're talking about how this manufacturer, like, every month or so they're delivering like 24 hoodies.
Yeah.
It's like, because they don't have anybody to work in their factory to do anything, and everybody's just like, give me my money back. And they're just like, and their line is, we already paid the manufacturer for the work. I'm like, and I'm sitting here waiting for these two hoodies, and I'm just like, that manufacturer is going to go out of business. They're just going to be like, yeah, I mean, and they're going to be like, yeah, can't make them anymore. Sorry. And I'm going to be stuck holding the bag. and this company is going to turn and say, well, we already spent the money, and sorry, can't do anything about it. It's like,
I just got my book, Lance. What's the Cipher system? I never heard of that.
It's Cipher. Yeah, it's like Monty Cook's own version. Or
It's their own adventure.
It's its own thing, right? It's just like, we still have we still have large outstanding quantities of all the colors of the hoodies that we have not received updates or schedules for. Production continues to be very slow, but the most concerning thing for us has been the deterioration of communication with our manufacturing partner. While they have continued to work at a limited capacity, we're pushing hard for updates in production. As previously stated, this Kickstarter has been a very difficult process for everyone involved, but we are most frustrated with the impact that it has had on those who pledged to help us produce these hoodies. We will continue to push our manufacturer, but we have been very disappointed with all aspects of this project. We appreciate all the patience you've given us. If you have not received your award and are interested in exchanging for a hoodie or for another color or different size, please reach. What is going on there?
Reuters reported that non-essential factories in China have to stay closed 2 days a week to preserve energy for other factories.
That
Wow.
makes sense.
I didn't know about that.
It's like, we understand the frustration. We'll be happy to swap out your color with an in-stock color and get your. We cannot offer refunds as the manufacturer has already been paid. We're happy to work with you to get another color that's available.
I mean, the biggest. You remember the cooler, right, on Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Oh, the super cooler.
Super cooler.
Where they actually had to pay each unfulfilled backer like $25 or something like
Except,
that.
it was a class
except there's a
action.
caveat on that too, right?
Do you
It
remember
was
in the early
if
days?
they answered an email and until they ran out of money, and then they ran out of money.
So hardly anybody got anything. Probably.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in the day when that one guy got on video and they were chasing him down, and the DA was after him in one state? Do you remember that, the early day? I can't remember what the game was, but
No.
I was talking to someone the other day. I was going to write a post about this. As I said, do you remember potato salad on Kickstarter?
Yeah.
And then this person was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "Oh my god, you don't know potato salad? It's like classic."
You don't remember? It's like there's Kickstarter memes now that nobody remembers. Gosh, what was the
that guy caught lightning in a bottle, and it was never redone.
We did not talk about John McAfee yet.
Oh yeah.
You guys know who John McAfee is?
Yeah, the founder of the Antivirus.
Yeah.
But he was a nut. He got into some legal shit and
yeah, he didn't pay taxes allegedly.
I didn't catch it.
And there was some Epstein shit.
But
John
founder of what?
The McAfee antivirus.
Oh.
But it got bought away from him for a long year.
Yeah,
he hadn't been involved in that in a lot of years.
Huh.
But he's like an international man of mystery. Like, go read about McAfee. So the minute that Spain agreed to extradite him, to the U.S., he died. He killed himself, they think.
Is that what happened? Yeah, I saw something on him a while ago, but it was the last time he had
watch anything on
island.
YouTube about John McAfee. It's crazy.
There's a documentary which I can't remember, but the last it was he was on that private island.
Yeah,
and that was
where there was no law.
Yeah, that's pretty much where they ended. I didn't really know what happened since then and now.
John McAfee found dead in Spanish prison after his extradition to the U.S. was approved.
Yeah, I think it was suicide.
Yeah. Yeah, but
John
it was
McAfee tweeted he regrets nothing days before death.
But go look into him.
I'm
I
gonna check
watched
that out.
something about this, and he said that like people were like coming like people like assassins were trying to find him and stuff like that.
It's all self-made up. I mean, he made up.
Yeah.
Who knows what reality is?
He was on all sorts of shit.
Well, I'm gonna go read about that right now. I gotta go though.
Yeah, go read about that. I suppose we should call it a night.
Yeah, it's 2
anyway.
a.m.
So
I'm
it's 2
glad
a.m.
to have been on the show.
Thanks you, Peter.
was
Thanks
fun.
you. Go back, Chroma.
Absolutely. If you,
With
I mean, I would
that,
back it if it wasn't 75.
I
Or-
mean-
I want the black one. I mean, I don't want to pay $100.
I think you're probably pretty safe with the people. Don't understand this, but it only takes your money